Yo, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna give it a few minutes right here, let everybody join up before I start covering anything. I'm gonna go on mute, but hope y'all having a good morning. Everybody who held on to their swings, we should be getting paid across the board on a couple different things. T-Mobile, LQD, McDonald's. Yeah, give me 1 second. All right, let's get it. I'm gonna get started. Let's see who's in here. So, all right, so I'm gonna get started covering the names. Your main common names, indexes, and the names we're in for the most part. Then we'll go from there. If anyone wants me to cover any individual stocks, let me know. But that's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, so let me probably select this one. Yeah, saying that. All right, so let's get started. These are some of the names we covered last week, considered or mentioned getting swings on them. So PG was one of the names we got swings on. This was probably the worst performing trade the entire week up until Friday. This trade did start paying pretty well on the weeklies and then on the swings. But before then, obviously, the trade had been red. The other trade that was potentially viable to enter for swings on Friday was T-Mobile. Had a similar candle on the daily, but this is where we currently are trading on PM right here. Sorry, yeah, PM. Potentially we could get some type of a bounce into this level and retest before making a move lower to close this gap here, right? But there are still the lows are much lower, so anyone trying to buy these dips, just be careful. I don't think we're done selling just yet. Let's go down to 3 hour. So you see how we already tested up here, but we haven't quite just quite closed that gap. What you want to see before re-shorting this, or shorting if you're not short, is a pot to these levels, previous week low, again before potentially seeing lower prices. If you are short, not a bad spot here to take some off at the open. Roll that into something else if you want to put them back on into here, or just hold. Your call, but these should open up quite a bit. So that's PG for now, pretty straightforward. Looks a little messy. This is where we are again, into previous week lows. Gap close. I want to see if we start getting rejected off that level and head back lower, or if we hold back above those previous week lows and try to make way back up towards the highs, which again, not what I'm betting on. I'm betting that this is going to happen. Fade off to the previous weekly lows, come down. And then as for PG, you're going to have a pretty similar setup. Let's start on the daily. This one didn't gap down quite as much over the weekend. So this was our sell side liquidity target. We're getting it right here on the open, so we're opening right around there. Excuse me. Want to see what happens here at the open. So technically this one has a similar setup, potentially come retest this zone and fade that level. If I had to choose just one setup, actually I'm not gonna speak on that right now. Before I said PM looked cleaner than PG. At this point they're probably about the same. $16, 11%. Yeah, I might prefer PM if I'm being honest with you guys. PM looks a little better than PG. And then we have, what is this? Why is gold up here? T-Mobile, this was a setup. The short got the ad on Friday, paying pretty well. We got the sell side liquidity on Friday, gap down here, opening right around here. Potential path from these levels is an extension lower, but again, similar comments to the other. Similar comments to the other names. Want to see what happens. This one didn't really leave a gap. I don't know if you guys see that, but we did not leave a gap, right? So technically this is possible from the open. Not saying it'll happen, but T-Mobile is a viable trade if you were not short already or looking for a short, or just a trade in general. If we, whoops, not what I wanted to copy. If we reject off these highs at 246.50, so keep that level in mind, write it down, do whatever y'all gotta do. But if we stay below 246.50 on I'll put a level there, 246.50 on T-Mobile, I like it for continued selling pressure down into that wick we left at 230, 231, which is about another $15 drop. So it should pay you out okay, hopefully, assuming that drop does come. So that's one potential trade. Gold, if you're not in swings, this one is still a really nice setup. So looks a little messy, have a bunch of overlaying stuff, but the initial was some type of a head and shoulders on the lower time frame here. which then would trigger head and shoulders on a bigger time frame, right? So this, I mentioned potential bounce off this level. We didn't get it. We are bouncing off of this zone here, but it's going to be the same comments as everything else. Do we sell right off of this? Which is one of the trades I'll be watching today. If that does happen, anyone not in GLD swings, this is not a bad area to enter if you have not entered. And if you are short, assuming we hold these lows and start bouncing, you can consider taking off here if you haven't trimmed. But we're trading right around Friday's levels. So, you know, want to see if we manage to hold Friday's levels or get below. I'm assuming we are going to get below, which is why I'm saying this is one of the best trades going into today. You know, your confirmation would be a trigger below these levels, stops above here, etc. A couple different setups we can take, but this is something I'm going to be watching today. Breakdown on gold, you can capture this entire range here, and if you look at the size of this move, this is literally the same size of the entire so assuming you shorted right at the Pico top to where we are now, which no one really got in at these perfect exact tops. You know, I think I got short, we all added around these levels, and then small squeeze, got paid, whatever. My point is, this is a huge range, so if you manage to catch this range to the downside, you should get paid out pretty nice. And below that level, you have this potential scenario. Let me go full screen. Zoom out a bit. So we've been holding this trend for some time, right? For quite some time. It's trying to hold it, right? If we do get this scenario, we have to bounce to continue the uptrend on gold, right? If we do start breaking below here, which is this pattern here, you see, that is going to invalidate the buys on the higher time frame, and that's when you can see much bigger drop from there. Something like this maybe, which would put gold back like at 234, 235, maybe these levels right here. So pretty clean for a swing. Not too expensive compared to the prices of everything else right now. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. That's fine. But yeah, that's the plan for gold. So keep an eye on that. Bear flag. Here. This one right here. Yeah, I guess. So you have this here, right? So when people ask me, oh, how do you know where we're headed to, targets, etc., you look left. You see this side here? Assuming we give this up, right? Which I'm gonna move right. Assuming we give this area up, we should see something like the left side over here. Which is kind of the trade thesis here. Assume we respect these highs, roll over. But you always want to look left. Which is why I said there was a potential scenario here because of this. Let's see. What else do we have? UNH I did not take, unfortunately. It's actually opening up higher than Friday, which is interesting. But we did put in lows at 503, so I'm probably not going to take this trade. Just want to cover the price action because it'll probably go there. But this was the scenario discussed on UNH, and it's probably going to do something like this. So again, not gonna take it, not the best premiums, but it's all right. It's an all right trade, but not for me. Not taking it, just covering it. So the thesis is lose these lows, come retest these lows, and if you give up that 500 zone, that's gonna trigger this much bigger drop here to potentially maybe like the 475-ish area, and then from there, let's see if it goes down into previous month lows or even lower. But this is somewhat of a rising wedge here. Let's zoom out on the daily so you guys can see it better. So this one, this is literally this, right? So I just copied it, put it over here, so it's this exact same thing. Only difference is this one extended a tiny bit higher. Well, not tiny bit, a bit higher, right? But it's the same exact pattern. You should have a similar outcome at the end. So this is what you got, and this is what we're kind of saying will happen again from these levels. But again, not trading it myself, just covering the action. McDonald's. Oh, how could I forget about shooting McDonald's? So this was the potential thesis. This one I gave a pretty solid write-up. The original trade plan was for the 3 hour. The original trade plan was fade the 618, which we did here. Paid a little bit, cashed out. If you didn't, got squeezed for a tiny bit. Then I mentioned reshorting here into the 786. If you did, you were super green on Friday on this drop. So this was the area we wanted to see us trigger below. We're currently below it. If we remain below that 298 area, these are the levels I'm targeting. And this write-up has been discussed and shared with you guys. I think Pilo is probably the only one still in swings with me, or I don't know if anyone else still got McDonald's, but these are the targets. So if y'all got short up here, you literally rode this shorty the whole way down, stress-free, getting paid. If you're trying to get in here, you can still get paid, but you're only gonna catch half the move. You already missed the whole this half. Half is still cool, you know, better than nothing. But if you up from here, you get 2R. If you come in from here, you're only getting 1R per se. CVS triggered. I like CVS, but CVS is text, bro. The IV's like, I'm not sure. That's the reason I issued a Coca-Cola over CES. I don't know if you remember me mentioning CVS that day. They both look cool. But when we loaded Coca-Cola here, wherever we did it, you know how we paid 20 bucks for the 72s? At that same time, I think the at the money or the strike below on CVS was doing like 70, 80 bucks per contract. So it's super expensive. Yeah, the setup and technicals look okay, but the premium wise, it doesn't really make sense. It's kind of expensive. Even Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola gives up these lows, which it probably will, we have a small gap up here, which again, I don't know and don't think we'll, do this. We can, just be ready. But if we immediately give up these lows, you have this whole range to the left from here. So be mindful, this is a potential. About a $4 drop on Coca-Cola can pay you really nicely just because those contracts are pretty cheap. They will be a lot more expensive than last week just because IV is going to be higher, everything's going to be more juiced. So be super careful what y'all buy this week. Watch the spreads, and again, be mindful, everything is going to be super juiced. You got higher VIX, you got just trust. Be careful what you pay, especially if you're a newer trader. If you don't know what you're buying, you can ask me before you buy it, because yeah, you guys are probably going to get overcharged for a lot of stuff. What else do we gotta cover? UVXY, let's cover UVXY really quick. So y'all know where my drawing's at. Y'all know I've been covering UVXY. I don't think nobody's covered UVXY probably this good, bro. So why do I have to? So let's start from back here, right? How this write-up started. You had the August highs on UVXY. Then you have tightening pattern. So kept tightening, range was getting tighter. We had the first initial breakout in December. These paid okay, but again, all off the same level. So again, same scenario we had it over here, just on a much smaller scale. Tightening. Then you get the initial breakout, which we charted. Whoops, hold on. We get the first initial breakout, right? From this 1745, 19, we got the breakout all the way to 30. 30 was the target based off of these wicks here. So got our target, rejected, which was, normal. And then we got long again on this dip, or I think I did, a few other people got long too. And now here we are, way up here. So we do have this small gap here, and again we have a small gap on SPY, so maybe this happens before going higher and SPY closes its upside gap before heading lower. But I still think these are potential targets, which are your August highs. So if this is the scenario we're going to get on UVIXI, the market is not done falling yet. And I shared this from 1745, now 44.30. So you about 3x your money on stock, and then the options are doing really well too. And these are the targets, maybe even higher if we break out above that. So these are the levels. Again, don't know how high we'll go, but if we do break out above August levels, that's insane. I'm 110% gonna take off majority of my stock at August levels. I'll leave some shares to run just in case we do something stupid and go anywhere higher from here, which I don't think, but it is very possible. This went insane in 2020 when the COVID crash happened, but this is already about a 3x on the stock, so pretty, more than enough. So anyone in stock or just trading it in general or keeping up with the market, again, going into that 65.87 level on UVIXI, I want to see what happens. Yeah, your watch list on UVIXI is up 642, Josh, but market ain't open. So when market opens, those calls are gonna be up probably another, I don't know, maybe double from there, or a couple 100% or some shit. I don't know what specific trade you're talking about. I lowered my mic, by the way. How does it sound? Audio straight? Yeah, we got grip the red folders this week. What was I gonna do? Berkshire. I have not covered Berkshire. Let me uncover the drawings. Let's uncover the magic. Whoops. Where is it? No way. Did I delete them? Huh. Right, I thought I had more drawings on this shorty. I know I did. Probably deleted them. Fuck. But whatever. Yeah, this trade's super clean. Whoever's in it, your swings are gonna open up super fucking green. So issued them here last week at 535, 530. This is down 70 bucks in 2 trading sessions. So those contracts are gonna be up 7,000 per contract if you're in Berkshire. Assuming you got the swings when I shared them up here. The 417, 530s were trading for like 300 bucks. So you could have loaded those for around 300 something, maybe 300, 400 bucks for 417 swings, and been up 7,000 per contract right here at the open. So shit, 300 to 7K profit. What is that? I can't even do the math on that. That's like a 20x. Over 20x on a swing, bruh. Not even no 0 DTE, nah, a swing. That's crazy talk. So yeah, if you went on Berkshire, congrats. We gonna be up over 20x right here. All right, let's lock in. We got about 10 minutes till the open. I think that's about everything. The only thing I didn't cover is LQD. Let me know if y'all got questions right now. do like a speed run questions if y'all got them before the open. If anyone needs help managing positions, Pilo, I think you're straight. I'm pretty sure you know what you're doing. But if anyone has questions, let me know right now before the open. At open, I'm probably get busy myself for a couple minutes, and then I'll start answering questions again. But LQD's green too. And that's everything I've been talking about recently. I didn't really cover the main indexes, and I don't really have time. My bad. But yeah, watching SPX. Want to see rejection off of these highs and lower, and then Bitcoin. I want to see it slip under. I want to see it slip under and stay under 77K, so we can make a potential leg lower towards 70K, and then potentially below 70K. GJ, decent range, but I really want to see this one continue selling off right here. We are at previous month lows, so if we lose that, we can trigger something like this down to 180 potentially. And then as for gold, I want to see it lose the previous day low, which is here, and then potentially we can go back to the levels where we opened at yesterday, something like this. So again, gold, super clean sells if we manage to trigger here. SPX, I guess if you want it, but not my trade of choice. What else? Bitcoin, I probably wouldn't take it if not already short, but still has a lot of potential, hasn't moved too much. And then oil, I don't trade myself. You guys know I'm not a fan of it, but we're currently at previous month lows. Sorry, previous month lows. So I'm trying interesting stuff here. Just noticed oil. Yeah, oil's crazy, bro. And then I did share that Exxon trade too. I don't know what that's at. Oh yeah, that's disgusting. So if you took that Exxon trade, you would have been a rip. Those are super cheap. I didn't take Exxon myself, full disclosure. I did say I wasn't. I just like the setup. CVX2, 20% in 2 days. Nasty. Yeah, I think CVX is paying more. For sure paying more. Nothing crazy. But yeah, clean. Bro, and just be mindful, none of these have triggered their respective necklines just yet. So these moves seem massive, yet they haven't even triggered necklines yet. Rosana, I've literally mentioned it a few times. Anyone in the chat can answer that? Yeah, see? Gold into T-Mobile. Oh, it's in the Discord. It's also here. But yeah, gold and T-Mobile probably, if you're not in anything. And then be mindful not to go crazy at open. Let prices settle maybe for about 2-3 minutes. If spreads are super wide, don't try trading. Give it a couple minutes, see if prices settle down a bit. Audio's low, say less. I just saw your comment. Let me raise this a bit. Alright, how's that? A little better? Straight? I just don't want to have my audio too loud because then y'all be talking shit by my keyboard ASMR. No, I'm just fine. PM is swing, not 0DT. Bro, I'm telling you, chill. PM does not even have 0DT contracts. Go on your chain. Like there's not even 0DT, bro. Like, just relax, gang. PM is probably not even one of the trades I'm discussing. So if you want to take PM for whatever reason, that's straight. But no, stocks do not have 0DTEs. Only indexes do. Y'all should have said something in the chat. My bad. I know y'all couldn't hear me. Bro, you don't gotta delete your message. It's cool. I'm just telling you, bro. Like, yeah, you straight, bro. But stocks don't have 0DT. All right, what we on? What time is it? 6:25. Fuck me. So this is what I don't want. So obviously these are the targets, right? Maybe even lower. What I don't want to see is a flash lower at the open, because let's say you managed to get in somewhere around here, you already missed about half of the potential move, just intraday speaking, assuming this was the daily range, right? Around here is your midpoint, so coming into here, you already missed out on half the move. So just be mindful chasing into the lows. I do think potentially we feel the wick and go even lower, but just in case that doesn't happen, use these levels for reference where you're buying into the dip. So let's say you're shorting, chasing down into these lows, just be considerate that about half of the potential drop you already missed out on, and you might have to be a little more aggressive with whatever puts you get. Let's say whoever shorted up here or is already short, etc., is up 100%. Maybe here you'd only be at 50. You gotta, just settle for less type of a deal. But if we open anywhere higher or even pop higher, that's better for anyone not short, because you'll get better fills on that. But yeah, just be careful chasing down. Emergency what? Can't read your comment. The fucking heart's in the way. Closed word meaning. It means that you're reading news, bro, that you're getting distracted. It means that you're getting distracted by news. That's what that means, bro. Just trade the levels, gang. If something bad happens in the board meeting, you're gonna see it right here. Something good happens, you're gonna see it. Just trade the levels. Even if it is news or not or whatever, like, we don't know what's happening in there, so. Alright, everything's fucked. This is farm. This farm. What did I used to have down here? I didn't even cover J&J. What's that at? Oh, J&J got to the bottom range. So if J&J gives up these lows, we're going probably like 144, 142 on it, which is about another $10. About 8. Let's say about a $10 to $8 drop. Not that bad. And this one doesn't have a gap, so this one is this one could go straight off the rip if they want it. Premiums on J&J ain't too bad either, but again, not my trade of choice. Alright, so I'm gonna probably secure some profits on some of the swings and trades I have open right now, like Berkshire. Actually gonna be green as fuck. I'm taking some off. And then after that, I'm gonna chill out for maybe secure profits within the first few minutes, and then after that, I'll see if I potentially get into something else, like those gold, add to the gold swings, gold shorter dated trades, etc. But again, at first, my first priority is taking some of the risk on my puts off. And if you guys are looking to get into something because you don't have anything, that's fine. But again, just be patient. Watch what you pay on the spreads. So GLD, probably one of the better setups, if not maybe T-Mobile. And again, be patient. You have a full trading week ahead of you. Do not rush into a trade the first 3 minutes of today. Like, there's no need. You got an entire week to catch some moves. Don't force shit. Wait for something to come to you. If you get the triggers today that we're looking for, great. But if not, there's no reason for y'all to be, pulling the trigger. Alright, we got about 5 seconds till the open right here. Good luck, everyone, bro. Let's see what they open at. Sheesh. Okay. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, the spreads are wide. PM new lows. Slight push higher on T-Mobile. So this is pretty, this is okay for anyone that did want to potentially get into that. Alright, so I just placed an order for gold, see if it gets filled. It's a swing. I do have swings already. Just want to take this one in as a separate trade for this week. It's gonna be, I'm watching the 417 puts, maybe like the 278 down to honestly the best bang for your buck is maybe like the 278. You could go lower if you really want to, but I'd rather just get something closer. So right below this. If you want to get lower, 276, 275, your call, but I just don't think it's worth it looking at the premiums. I'd rather be in the money sooner. You're not getting much of a discount by going lower, so shit, I'd rather pay the 30 bucks extra and be in the money a whole dollar higher. I'll trade 30 bucks for a dollar any so it's basically 30 for 100 type of a deal. I'll take it. What did I have down here? Where's down here? Let me pull up the chat, my bad. Okay, so I did get filled a little bit on that. Let's see what happens here on gold. I want to see if we get the breakdown. Anyone not in a trade again, those swings are pretty decent. So I got the gold set 278 puts for 417. They're currently trading between $4 and $4.25. The spread isn't too bad, but they're already up about 30 bucks from when I got in. This is a swing. And then right here, gold. Let's see if we get the breakdown. And then T-Mobile, let me check those prices. I haven't gotten into that. I don't know if anyone has. Let me check the chat. I gotta pull it up. Yeah, 417. Bro, do not take 0 DTE. If y'all want to take 0 DTE up to y'all, you could potentially get paid on a quick trade here if we break down. But it's risky, so do what y'all want. I just don't think it's worth taking 0 DTE trades in this environment. You're better off taking swings that are going to hold you down and pay you out a lot. So look, I'm looking at the 0 DTE right now. They're 110, which isn't terrible. But I'd rather pay a little more and get 2 weeks extra time. My bad, let me check chat. I haven't been in here. Has anyone got into anything? T-Mobile? Anyone gotten into T-Mobile? Let me check that out myself. I'm just saying because the only trade I've gotten in is gold. I was busy getting filled on that. Before that, I was managing open trades. Gold is paying here if you took it. Ugly. So I just checked T-Mobile chain. They're kind of overcharging. Not kind of. They're overcharging. The 240s, which are probably what I'd get, or maybe the 242.5s. They're around 500 bucks. So potentially you can make about 15 bucks on this move. You're paying 5 up front. So it's about a 1 to 3 R. You'd be risking 500 to make 1.5k. If anyone likes those odds in that scenario, you can take the trade on T-Mobile. But again, these are a lot more expensive than they were last week. Gold's paying here, by the way, if anyone took gold. Yeah, this is kind of expensive on T-Mobile. Not gonna lie. So not too bad here on gold if you trailed on that. Anyone say gold? You took gold? Hey, shit, you green? Got in late, all good. Shit, green is green. Alright, pretty green here on GLD here, depending which you took. Whoever was talking about 0 DTs, I don't know if y'all took them, but if you did, you getting paid. Yo, nobody, you Adam? I'm just trying to keep up with who's who in case y'all got questions. I know who's who. PG paying a little right here. I want to see if T-Mobile pays. Waiting to get filled on some orders. Don't know if they'll fill me. I'm not in T-Mobile yet. Waiting to get filled. Again, don't know if they're gonna do it, but I got orders open. See if they want to give them to me. Oh, you just a normal guy? Alright, for sure. My bad. See, I'm already confusing you. Gold pending? What you trying to get in, Joshua? I'm glad you said pending. If you said pending, that means you're paying at the bid. Because usually your ass be paying at the ask or above. So it's good you said pending. That means you're doing bid. I don't know, you might have missed gold, Joshua. T-Mobile still hasn't moved, but I'm not a fan of the premiums. I still haven't gotten filled either. Now I'm planning on replacing my orders, keeping it above with y'all. They don't fill me, it is what it is. Psych as fuck, I'm about to replace that shit. Nah, I'm just playing. Damn, do I really want to overpay? You want an extra $100 to let me get in the trade? Do I really need that? Yeah, pretty tax. If anyone does want to take T-Mobile, I don't know what to tell y'all. I like the levels, but again, the premiums this week are just gonna be ridiculous. So it just sucks, bro. It sucks because if you guys were trading 2 months ago, like you guys, majority of people have never seen this environment. So you know, we take for granted the environment we used to have. Everything was super cheap. You could get in and out of things, super liquid, whatever. Right now, into this current situation, where you have to pay probably double, if not at least 50% more on every contract across the board, just because of everything going on. Like these T-Mobiles, like again, they were way cheaper last week. Now probably twice as expensive, just because of IV and everything else. Gold, nothing too major here. I want to see under 276.79. If we get below that level, that's where we're really gonna start getting paid out. We still haven't filled the wick. Not sure if y'all could see that, but we were targeting this wick, which is still our target. We have not gotten in there yet. Want to see one more new low to fill that, and then see if we drop potentially below that. That's still the setup here. Berkshire trying to bounce, hold GP here, so that's hopefully a good thing. if you're long or trying to get long. If Berkshire holds these lows, that's going to be a good sign for a potential bounce. If you want to take the calls, you're free to do so, but not something I'm going to do myself. I'd rather just be patient and wait. If we do go higher, I'll try to reshort from higher. But yeah, not something I'm doing. I still think we're headed much lower across the board. Not specifically here in this specific second. Sure, potential bounce, but in the coming months we're gonna end up a lot lower. Yeah, McDonald's is green. Oh, that's what I had down here. Sleeping. Yeah, McDonald's is cooling right here. So McDonald's already trying to push lower. Bro, Pilo just came through. Yeah, bro. T-Mobile was super cheap last week. Like Joshua, you had T-Mobile swings, which you sold all of. I don't know why. But you would have been paid right here on T-Mobile. Now, if you want to get back in to the same trade you were already in, you got to pay double what you paid last week, which doesn't make sense. You chasing type of a deal. And you can still get paid, but regardless, you're chasing and paying more than what you originally got in at. So it just sucks. Oh, what you execute, Joshua? You about to hit me with, I grabbed some 0 DTE. I'm not doing too much right here other than the gold swings I mentioned. I did get filled on T-Mobile, but I'm gonna just chill. No really not much direction here. Still, ooh, SPY, nice. But we still have that open gap, so maybe we bounce off these lows. But not doing too much myself, waiting for ranges to develop, trigger, whatnot. Other than gold and T-Mobile, again, I haven't done much. Just want to see what happens here. I do want to see lower, but those are the only trades I've added or taken today. So nice developments here on SPY. Only thing I don't like is we didn't close that gap, but it is what it is, I guess. Let's see if they do this and close that gap or break the lows and push lower. And again, the only trade that I took was GLD, break here, pushing lower. If we break these lows, I'll get paid out more. If you're not in anything, T-Mobile is still viable. It's just a little expensive, so not riskier. I mean, I guess it is riskier. You're overpaying per contract, but this is the same thesis we discussed this morning. Probably around 500, 400 bucks per contract if you do decide to take it. That's the setup. So let's see. Potential profits about $1,000 bucks, 1,500 per contract. At Wickfield. Anything below Wickfield is more profit, obviously, but calculated at Wickfield, 1.5k profit per contract. So not too bad, even though you got to pay 400 bucks, 500 bucks, I guess. And then GOD trying to break the lows right here. Let's see if we manage to do that. I'm up 60%, 65% on the GOD 0 DTEs, and then the swings are up 25%. So not too bad, but again, I want to see a breakdown here, closure below, or I'll consider trimming, getting out, managing, etc. So let's see what we get. OQD I have not looked at. It's not bad, but for some reason, are you up more? Am I tripping, Pilo, or were we up more on Friday on LQD? Because we're a whole dollar lower, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I was up more on Friday. Or am I bugging? But yeah, if anyone got the LQD swings, those are really green. Level on SPY. It's not a specific level to watch on SPY. I just don't really like leaving gaps open. and the fact that we have this gap here, right? I want to see if we come fill that gap before heading lower. So hold these lows and bounce something like this, or breakdown. That's the setup on SPY, which would be a breakdown below like 482. But again, I rather see we can straight flush. Yes, this is possible. Me myself, with my trading experience and what I've seen like all this time, I'd feel a lot more comfortable shorting up here for this, because if you start shorting here at the lows and then we do this, you're getting squeezed about 20 bucks. It's because these ranges are so big. Like, this is an intraday range, but we're moving so much that if this pop does happen, you get short at 480. Up here, you're at 500. That's a $20 move. Within minutes, you can be squeezed 20 bucks. So let's say you just overpaid on that put because they're expensive as shit. So you're buying an expensive ass put, and within 15 minutes, you get squeezed to 500, and how that put that you literally just overpaid for and was super expensive is down 90%, 50%. So if that's what you're trying to do, go ahead. But it's not a put I take here at the lows. Again, I'd rather wait to short the highs. And just like I said, look at that. If they bounce off these lows to those highs, that's a $20 move in a matter of minutes, hour, whatever time they take right now. So if you took the puts at the lows for the high, guess what? You just got jugged. Congrats. I'd rather miss a trade than take a stupid trade. There's always going to be another trade. But you keep taking stupid trades, there's not always going to be more money. So, up to y'all. I'd rather wait. Gold at the lows. Let's see what we get. Nice pullback on UVXY. And then SPY bouncing. So again, same comments as this morning. Gap close on UVXY, right? Because this gapped up. So come down, close gap, go higher. And you would have the opposite on SPY. Gap close to the upside. It's already up about $7. Well, no, I'm lying. Maybe about 5. So that's a big move in premiums, bruh. Like, I'm telling you, you're playing with fire right now. If you're new to trading, respectfully, take it fucking slow. Even for somebody who's been trading for a minute, like, this is fucking ridiculous. In a matter of literally, what, 3 minutes, you just got finessed. And I'm telling you, bro, this is not a market environment for beginners. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I want to help y'all make money, but this is an insanely hard environment to make money in. Yes, we can still make money. It's a little challenging, but we're going to get it done. But I'm just telling you, like, if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you don't understand how bad shit is right now. So just be careful, super careful. Oh, you're in McDonald's for 302. Shit, so you're getting paid on that, William. I think you mentioned you took some off last week, right? So you're risk-free on that 302? Or how have you been managing that McDonald's trade? This is a layer of 1. You had multiple layers, or how did you trade that? And then gold, I'm assuming you meant 411, 278. I'm cool with that. And I'm assuming gold you took today with me, but the McDonald's was a swing from last week, correct? And again, just let me know you've been managing that McDonald's. If you have, great. But yeah, hopefully it's like risk-free runner or something, or you've managed. Risk off, for sure. Perfect. Yeah, look at that bounce on SPY. Yikes. That's what I'm telling you. Sure, if it breaks down, you could have made money, but it never broke down. And if you shorted at the bottom, you just, you know. You're never gonna be a perfect trader, but if you can just avoid the stupid mistakes, you're gonna go a long way. So shorting literally at the bottom is a stupid mistake, respectfully. Short at the highs, buy at the lows. Even if it would have broke down and you miss it, so what? We knew there was a gap to the upside and this was a potential. And if you know that it's gonna go up, why bet down? Doesn't really make sense. After that's taken care of, sure, let's see if we can get the sales. But for now, just chill. And if we fly above the opening gap, sheesh, RIP. What am I getting paid on? Oh shit, T-Mobile. I was like, why my account just fucking... So T-Mobile's going green here if anyone loaded at the highs. Anyone take T-Mobile today? They were expensive, I know. But did anyone get in? Matt Rake, Timus, might take Timus, I think you're trying to say. So that's a non-jumpy back in same trade on Timus. You can get back in, Joshua. I'm telling you, the trade still has potential, but just as a trade management perspective, it's stupid because you were in the trade and I told you hold these trades and you sold for less than what you're gonna buy back in here for. So yes, you can still make money. It's still a potential trade. Just as a trade management perspective, it's pretty dumb. So it's fine because it's done. You can't go back in the past and change it, but try to correct these mistakes so it doesn't happen in the future. So if you want to short it, it's fine. Just again, you're paying a lot more than you had originally gotten in for and from what you sold at, which I'm sure you're aware of. Just try not to do it again, obviously. So yes, sir, on team. Sorry for sure, Adam. I don't know what you took, what you paid, but hopefully you didn't get taxed because those shits are ugly. Let's see if I can find a better swing on T-Mobile. %, 240. Oh, that might be nasty. Hold on. Let me see if I can snipe some for the small accounts. What's the bottom range? 220? 220, 208. Look at that bounce on SPY. Yikes. Hey, don't lie. Who shorted at the bottom on that? No, just playing. That sucks, bro. Like, I know people went short at the bottom, like dead ass, and it's like, damn, that sucks. Like, if you're new to trading, you don't know what you're doing, you gonna get judged. Look at UNH, nice slow sell right here. Again, not in it, just following the action, but pretty clean levels. And then SPY's probably gonna go close that gap. I'm telling you, the market makers are nasty. They just swiped the entire opening range in one drive. So sweep everybody's liquidity that try to short, and then everybody trying to go long, or everyone that longed right now, and one flush lower, they can take all that liquidity too. That's what I'm assuming they're gonna do. Might be mistaken, and then they break out above highs, and then we'll have to reassess, take shit out. We'll see what's up, but for now, that's the plan. Gold and T-Mobile swings for sure. Just be mindful of everything we have this week, and if anyone is loading swings, again, remember it's barely Monday. Unless you plan on actively putting on and off risk on those, you're better off chilling. Like, let's say you load a little bit right now. If they get cheaper, buy in later, whatever. Levels look fine right now, but just make sure you're not going all in right now, type of shit. Yeah, but look at that bounce on SPY. Even Berkshire, so check Berkshire. We said this was GP, it would probably bounce off those levels, and that's exactly what we did. So again, you don't gotta be perfect, you just don't be stupid. Shorting at the lows is pretty stupid. Respectfully, I don't know if anyone here shorted at the lows, I hope not. And then people sometimes be getting butt hurt, because I'll be honest with you. Like, I'll tell you, hey, that was pretty stupid. I'll tell you to your face when you do something dumb. It's not to offend you. I'd just rather be 100% honest with you, because if I'm not honest with you, I tell everybody the market is going to be honest with you. So either I tell you it's stupid, or the market going to tell you, hey, that was a stupid trade. Let me get all that money. So I'd rather tell you before the market takes your money. What y'all on? Anybody doing anything right now? Let's see what we get on PG. Maybe we get a breakdown. I still got a little bit of PG, but I'm pretty risk free on that. So the trade that wasn't paying last week is going to be the first one to pay today. We're about to get to the bottom zone of this, so maybe into 158.75 potential bounce. Sorry, not potential bounce on PG, but potential area to get out if you're still short, just in case. Seamus, you're in that. Watching Bitcoin, so let's pull up Bitcoin real quick. I mentioned I want to see a bigger drop on crypto this week. I have a 70k target on Bitcoin, which I shared a long time ago. Let's do this right quick. Zoom out. Where my target's at? Group 4, I think. Yep, so this is the official trade I took some time ago. These are the targets which we have not yet met. The thesis here is stay below 77k and we will see lower prices, which we currently are above, right? So we want to see us get back below 77k, flush below to these lows, and then potentially make that drive down to 70k. Above here, you should not be short. So just be patient with Bitcoin. William, if you're just watching it for price action, that's great. I don't know if you trade it via futures or plan on trading it on something else. I don't think you do. Somewhat of a drop here on USD CAD. GJ trying to come up a bit, nothing too significant yet, but let's see how that develops. And then GJ, if we do manage to break out, this is a pretty sizable upside. So I'll cover this setup real quick. So this is your low, right? If we break out above here, we can come fill this wick up here potentially. Something like this. Or we respect these highs and fade below. You got to be mindful. For now, you don't do anything in the zone. Just wait for the triggers. Above, you get this. Down, you get that, right? But just be mindful on both sides. Super wide setups. If you zoom out on the daily, you have this entire range to the downside, right? So we either fall about another 1,000 pips, or we go back up a couple hundred. But GJ is going to be pretty important here as well as gold. Bitcoin as well, all of these. So Bitcoin level to watch under 77k. Everybody in the Discord, all of this is in there, by the way. So all these levels, thesis, write up, all this I'm discussing is in there. Gold, GJ, Bitcoin, etc. So if you want to check that out, it's in there. Look at SPY. Sheesh, you could have taken those longs. So since you know we're gonna go fill that gap, you could have bought the dip right here, which I personally did not issue. Again, you would probably be super paid. Maybe not. Again, the shit is so expensive that maybe even on this pop, it'd be hard to get a lot of premium out of them. Not sure how the calls are moving, but I did mention this potential pop to the highs. So again, if you took the calls, great, cool. Just not something I myself would have taken. I'd rather be more passive, like I've told you guys. You don't got to take all the trades, just some. And you want the higher probability trades, which this one was decent for a scalp. Let's see what happens once we fill that gap. Do we break out above, or do we fade off that level? Look at McDonald's pop. And then GLD also bounced off those lows. So I want to see what happens here. I'm going to chill out. See which side of the range we break down, break out, etc. But I still want to see that breakdown, so just be patient. Who's in what? How y'all managing? Cornbread, stop playing. You can't. You're not a U.S. citizen because you bred, bro. How you want them to? How you want to be a citizen? You're a piece of bread. Come on, don't be silly, bro. Come on, Luis, you know better. How you gonna say T-Mobile dumping? It barely had like one red tick. I tell you better than that, bro. Come on. I just saw your message, but nah, T-Mobile is not dumping. If you guys want to get better as traders or just in general, proving callouts, etc., you could say T-Mobile below previous day low, T-Mobile below 245, T-Mobile below, etc. But you know, comments like dumping, ripping, flying, like, you know, doesn't really give you concept of, you know, what's really going on. Because I wouldn't say this is dumping. Look at that move on SPY though. So again, if you shorted at the lows, RIP. Coming into these highs, you want to consider reshorting again. Maybe something you could do here. So short these highs for a move lower, possibly. Not doing it myself on SPY. Just calling out the price action. Potentially a trade you can take, but everything's super expensive, so just be careful what you pay for that if you do take it. LQD pushing lower here. Oh, my bad, I got confused. I thought it was at 106. We're at 107. We probably will trade 106.89 today though. Gold, nice low red here. Nice low red on T-Mobile, nice low red on SPY. Again, I want to see them close that gap. Maybe they sell from here. I wouldn't like that. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't make sense for them not to close that gap before going lower. But who knows? Maybe they don't. Yeah, see, so P-low, proper call outs. T-Mobile previous day low, like, oh shit, okay, I know where we at. So this is what we discussed potentially happening on T-Mobile. Why does it look so ugly? And so far so good. We came up, closed that gap. Now we can get this push lower into that 230. What's the low on this? 230 with 2 cents low, I guess. So target 230, and then obviously if we lose that 230 level, we can see much lower, but that's a thesis for now. Point A to point B, 230, you should be getting risk free. You just need some of the money, not all of the money. So you always gotta leave risk on the table. I'm not saying like it's the proper thing to do. Obviously you want to secure as much as possible, but at the end of the day, the safe thing to do is just securing the profits, and at the end of the day, you're gonna leave money on the table. It's just part of the game. Gotta learn to accept it. Sure, you want to get better to maximize as much of the profits as possible, whether it's getting better on your entries and exits, better entries, holding longer, etc. But generally, it remains the same. Get risk free as soon as you can. Risk is dynamic. It's something I try to focus on. So what I mean by risk is dynamic is once you enter a trade, let's cover gold real quick. Excuse me. If you shorted gold up here on 0DTE or something like that, for example, what you paid up here and your risk up here is not the same risk you're carrying down here. Why? Because one, it is now worth a lot more. And let's say the contracts are up 100%. The risk you had up here, it's risky up here, right? Down here, it's not risky. Why is it not risky? Because you can literally sell half or more of your position, ride runners lower if it happens, and you know, have zero out-of-pocket risk. So your risk up here is risky. Down here, it's not as risky. If you leave the risk on, sure, it's more risk because you have now higher total market value of your position or whatever. But generally, once you're green, your risk is less. if you manage it properly. If you don't manage those greens, it doesn't benefit you to be green. So if you get ahead, stay ahead. Whether you put your stops at break even, trail profits, etc., stay ahead. But if you let a green trade go red, that's a mistake. A lot of traders have. I've had it before, but you just got to address it and just not keep making those mistakes. Let's see. Be patient here, guys. Let's see once we close that gap what happens, but I'm not gonna be doing too much here until that happens. If we close the gap and do potentially fade or something into this area, maybe I'll add to gold. So I'm already short. Maybe I'll add more to my swings, and if not, I'll see about adding or taking 0 DTs. But again, I want to see SPY reject, gap fill and reject, and rejection on GLD. So let's see what we get. Someone not in a trade, waiting all day, hopefully patiently, not forcing shit. If you've been forcing shit, don't know what to tell you. But if you've been waiting, consider taking gold here with me if we get the setup. Bruh, what's this guy's name? My bad, bro. I don't know your name. You're new. The one that sent the not suitable for work shit in the chat that you got banned. If you want DM me your report, bro. I don't know what you're doing, but I already know you're fucking up. Respectfully, my bad, bro. You talking about McDonald's folder trim? I didn't even know you were in it. I don't think you were in anything. I think you got that. Oh, I see it right here. Oh shit, you're up. Okay, bro. Yeah, honestly, I don't even know how you're up, bro. Those were pretty bad trades. So you took pretty terrible trades last week, respectfully, and you're up 115%. So I definitely consider taking profits on that one. Maybe the T-Mobile 240 I'll hold, just because that one's decent. You're not up as much. The ITM puts, I don't even know what that is, bro. I don't know what you paid for those. So if you want to show me what you paid for that, 24. Oh shit, yeah, that's a disgusting spread on ITM. I don't think you're gonna get filled on that. Good luck, bro. Hopefully you do. GLD, you probably took that today. You're fine on that. So yeah, maybe consider taking profits on McDonald's if you want. If you want to risk it for the biscuit, hold it a little longer. Maybe it's okay. But I just don't want you to hold too much on your books since I'm pretty sure you have a small account. So consider taking off that 115% win and hold the T-Mobile, see if they pay more. That's maybe what I do just because you're on a small account, bro. And ask before you take shit because, yeah, bro, just ask. Send in the chat whether it's me or someone else. I'm pretty sure someone will be able to tell you if it's a decent trade or not. And if you're not comfortable sending something in the chat, DM me. But everyone's cool as fuck, bro. We don't judge. Is there a gap on Abbott? Nice push lower on LQD. I'm gonna cover out Abbott for you real quick, bro. But we might get that entry we discussed right here soon, so let's see. Come on, bro. Don't be freezing up right now. Done McDonald's, I'm out for sure. So you secured over, double your money on that. Great. If T-Mobile moves lower here, you'll get paid out. But at least you secured some capital, some profits. Take it slow, bro. I'm telling you. You want some money, not all the money. If you keep doing what you did today over and over and over, you'll scale your account a lot. But if you continue to keep taking bad trades that are super risky, you're gonna end up blowing your account, being honest with you. Yeah, bro, fuck, this shit is lagging. There we go. My bad, bro. My shit was lagging. Gap on Abbott for what? Upside? Yeah, I see it. We can maybe go fill it. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. Don't know how liquid this is. Don't know how it trades. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Just watch those levels. I'm not trading Abbott, and I never took it last week when I mentioned it, and I'm probably not gonna take it here. You're better off taking something else, being honest with you, bro. Unless premiums are super good or something, which I doubt. UNH has been selling off the entire day, which is one of the trades I said I liked, but wasn't gonna take, and I didn't. Just a little too expensive. So think about it, guys. If the T-Mobile contracts are trading for over $500, which is a stock worth half the price of UNH, what do you think that the UNH contracts are at? Probably trading close to a rack. I'm telling you, bro, this is ridiculous. If you got swings some time ago, you chilling right now. Try to hold on to them as long as possible, unless you know, we break out and we got to take those off. But anyone who has any swings from last week, right now you're in a much better position to hold stuff than someone trying to get short here. Let's see, we're about to get that open gap fill on SPY. This is the moment of truth. I want to see what happens into these levels. Are we going to get rejected and flip into this 500, 502? Or are bulls really going to break out? So again, if you shorted at these lows, RIP, you just got jugged. We just filled that gap pretty much. About to. So again, it was pretty straightforward. Told y'all not to short at the lows. Here's a potential scenario where we can put maybe short. Let's see what we get here. Don't rush into sells, by the way. Give it a second and just chill out. But again, if you shorted at these lows, look at this was 642. Right now it's 711. So how fast was that? In a matter of less than 30 minutes, you would have literally gotten completely annihilated if you shorted at the lows. All right, now I'm gonna go down a 15-second, just try to get the flip on this as fast as possible. Oh, come on, don't lag right now. So this is a 15-second chart, super fast comments, super fast hands. Be super careful trading this if you do trade it, but what you want to see is us flip below these levels, and you can potentially see a move back down to these lows from today, 482-ish. If we stay above 506, 505.50, there is no reason to be short. So right now you are not short. You wait for a trigger below the sells below level, and that is when you potentially get short, and then you could exit your sells if we get above the point of control, which is 510. So again, exit sells if we get above here. You enter on a breach of this level, and that would be your potential trade. Again, not in yet. The thesis is get in on a breach of 505.50. So not in yet. This is not a sell. You do not sell when we're super bullish. Counter trend, you do not. You wait for a breakdown of levels. So clearly told you guys, this is not a sell. Just wait patiently. If we're gonna sell, do it on a breach of 505.50. So let me see what everything else is doing, but that's the setup for SPY to watch right now. PG, decent pop. Pretty big pop here on T-Mobile. What am I at? Oh, I'm on a 15-second, no wonder. That is a pretty big pop though. I was like, why did the chart look like that? I forgot I was on 15-second. Let me check the premiums on those. And we're on the upside right here on gold, so I might consider adding to that. Only if premiums make sense. Let me check that out real quick. What should do 200% on, bro? That's crazy. I don't even know what you hit on, gang. What you snipe? I think bro probably took the calls. Bro was mad about the Apple calls on Friday. He said, fuck you, I'm getting my money back. Look at that bounce on G. Oh, I don't have GJ on screen. But GJ just had a fat ass bounce too. Gold 5 minute. Can I check gold? We're at the upper range here. So this is the area I said I'd consider potentially reshorting. The breakout on the buys isn't until above 280, so it's still selling the higher time frame. Are you in gold, or for the potential gold play coming, are we looking at swings, correct? Pedro, yes, you can take swings, and I'm assuming you're on a small account, new trader, so you're best off taking swings. If you want to do something else, weekly, 0DT, other stuff, if you know what you're doing, go ahead. But again, I don't think you do, so swings is your best bet. 417 in the monies or at the monies. That's probably what I do. So like 417, 278 puts, or 279 for around 350, 400 bucks. That's what I'd be looking at. And I'm pretty sure we're closing gaps here on this pop across the board. So I'm glad you trimmed some on McDonald's Ramiro, because if you wouldn't have gotten out here, you would have given up some premiums on that pot. And I didn't even know you were in that. If not, I would have told you to get out lower. But fuck it, at least you green. Look at that breakout on SPY. Disgusting. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm glad nobody got short. Well, I hope nobody got short after those. Alright, so we still on watch for that breakdown. You can raise the sells below level to 512-ish if you really wanted to. If you want to be more aggressive on that trade, if you want to be patient, you can keep it down here where it was. I'll make a copy. So the real breakdown, or the one we were watching, was down here. Obviously we're higher, so if we get short from a higher level, we will take advantage of that. But now you want to see a breakdown from these higher prices. And again, I did not take these calls. I'm fine with this rally, but we did say not to short at the lows. So we rode the whole leg down. So if you did that, you're chilling. Obviously, if you missed it, you know, you want to be in a trade type of a scenario. But right now, I just want to let this retrace a little higher. See if we can get back in on the sells. Oops. McDonald's, decent move here. All right, so this is the breakout level on GOD 280. This is the level I want to watch. So 280 is something I'd consider fading here on GLD if it happens. And then above that, I would just reconsider the gold shorts overall and just shorts in general. So reshort across the board, or sells might be no short term. Let's see what we get here the next, what time is it? 7:17, maybe the next 3 minutes. So 3 minutes to 15 minutes. So from here to 7:30 PST, let's see what we get. But the next 3 minutes are critical here. So reshort gold here, maybe short SPY if the premiums make sense. Re-enter T-Mobile, take anything that is viable. But again, just be super careful what you take. Let me check premiums out. Let's see if anything makes sense. Yeah, it's play it safe for the swings. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, it don't make sense to get riskier here. They're both not terrible here. So not a terrible trade if anyone wants to potentially re-enter those. Or enter if not in. T-Mobile is a lot better. I think about 50% off from where we first mentioned it. Trying to get some fills. Let's see if they fill me. I'll let y'all know. Right now I'm working on that. They have not. Did anyone manage to get in on that? Or it was a pretty quick flip. But let's see if they managed to push lower. Let me know. Let me know. Anyone get in on GLD? I'm gonna go back to work. Catch you, bro. Let me know what you win if you got in on anything. Took a fat L. What you take an L on, bro? You got swings, nah? Or I don't know what you're talking about. If you're in a little bit of drawdown on a swing, which I told you were gonna overpay for, then just wait. The problem is if you added a big ass size that you cannot add here, then that's an issue. Again, I don't know what you did. Let me know. But yeah, definitely told you I'd take it slow. I'm assuming T-Mobile you want to draw down because you entered at the lows or entered somewhere here. So yes, they are in drawdown. I mentioned there was double what they were at last week. So yeah, if you got in here at the highs, you can, mediate some of the losses from this one. So this one would be down, I don't know, just random numbers. Let's say this one's down $200. Your enter up here at the midpoint. This one's up 200. This one's down 200. Your break even is now here instead of being down here. Anything below here, you are now green. So that's what I would do on something like that. If you were red because you entered short here, you can add up here. But again, if you went all in here or supersized in on something dumb, which I hope you didn't, then obviously you don't have room to add up here. So let me know what you did, bro. Where's bro, this man. Yo, what you take, gang? Let me know. I see. Walkhart. I forgot your Twitter name, bro. But let me know what you take. I'm pretty sure you were long. No way, you weren't. So there it is. If you took the SPY shorts when I mentioned it up here, you're getting paid, gold paying, T-Mobile paying. Hopefully we just continue pushing lower and hold this trend and break below significant levels, which this is the trend, the breakdown we wanted earlier. Let's see if we get it. And then obviously this golden box is the open gap we wanted to see filled, which we clearly got, and some. So let's see what we get here. But again, if we continue pushing lower and you did short those highs, you should be really green here. Cancel this. Interesting. I'm debating what to do here. So I'm trying to balance my own portfolio. Got gold 277 414. So Rosana, I don't know if you know, but gold has 3 expirations on the week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'd prefer if you had 417. It's fine, you're already in it, no issues. But if you do decide to add anything or just for future reference, I prefer Friday expiration versus like a midweek or Monday or something like that for a swing. If it's like, we're scalping intraday on the week or something like that, you want to take a 0DT 2 days to expiration for Wednesday, something today like Wednesday expiration, that's fine. But generally swings, try to go for Friday, but you're straight. Talk to me, Joshua, bro. You quiet. You still holding, or you realize the loss? I hope you didn't realize the loss. If you're still holding, you could go green on them. But if you already cashed out and you sold for a loss because you got scared, you kind of fucked up, not gonna lie. So let me know what's up. I know you said you was hopping off. Don't know if you're here, but might have been a mistake if you sold, bro. Well, not might have been, but. Who re-shorted on that pot? I know a few people did. Should be at least a little green. Yeah, see, they coming back. And again, I don't know y'all sizing, but if you went all in or super heavy on the first set, you fucked up. Generally, when I'm gonna size for a trade or swing or just anything riskier like a 0DT, I try to do 33% max size per entry. What does that mean? So let's say you're on a smaller account and you say, hey, the most I can risk is 300 bucks. That means you're not going to go all in with 300 at once. You're going to risk 100 for your first entry, second one for another 100 to max 200, your third one another 100 to put your total risk at 300. I get it, in this fucking environment, not realistic for a contract at 100 bucks for a small account, whatever. But that's generally how you'd want to do it. You can do max 50% at one time, and then you do your second set if you get the opportunity. That's even okay, but going all in at one spot is not ideal. See, 1 to 2 contracts is fine. Let's say you take one, you get pricing, and 15 minutes later you take your second contract, but you don't want to go all in one spot type of a deal. Makes it harder to manage, harder to cost base average, etc. Like, I get it, we all want to be snipers and have perfect entries, but the honest truth is our entries are not going to be perfect 100% of the time, probably not even 50% of the time. And if you know that is not the case, why are you going to act like, oh yeah, this is the perfect entry, I'm gonna go all in right here? No, you'll probably see better prices and better entries. So if you know that in hindsight, just take it slow. That's what I do. Let's see what we get here on gold. I want to see a breakdown below the zone. If that does happen, again, we'll start getting paid out a little more on those, whoever took them. Small gap here, so I want to see them retest that before going lower. But so far, doing okay. McDonald's back below that 298 level we discussed. And pre-market, I did tell you guys, majority of these names had had gaps to the upside, where I would not count out a pop closing those gaps before heading lower. So I'm not sure why, like, this pop doesn't surprise me. So I hope you guys aren't surprised, and if you're red on those puts again, I called out the potential scenario of a pop, so hopefully you guys were able to manage. I don't see Joshua, so I'm gonna just assume he sold for a loss or is holding, or I don't know. You're not tripping, these prices are real. Bro, you wish you didn't even buy it. Bro, I'm telling you, I don't know how many you bought. If you just bought a little bit, no problem. But if you went all in there, sorry again. And again, if you're still holding, there's a high probability you're gonna go green on that trade. But if you already sold for a loss and then they go super green, you fucked up, respectfully. Yo, what happened, gang? DM me, bro. I'm scrolling through the chat right now. What happened, Rose? DM me. It's never too late, bro. Whatever you down, shake that shit off. You'll make it back. Don't matter, bro. Just gotta stay locked in. Cause if you mentally check out, that's where you fuck up. You gotta stay locked in mentally, and you gotta fucking fire in your hands. You're not just gonna say, oh fuck it, I'm out this bitch. Like, nah, bro, turn that shit off. So DM me, bro. Let's see what's up. We gotta do something about that. Yes, definitely, patience does pay. So we're getting paid here, hopefully. Hopefully, again, I don't know what y'all doing. I'm trying to guide y'all through this, but I don't know what everyone is doing individually. So hopefully y'all are paid here. Okay, Tamiro, you're up on GLD. That's good soup. Only thing I don't like is it's a 0 DTE, which I said I didn't recommend, and I'd rather you guys took swings, but it is what it is. You're here now. What happened to all your other contracts? I'm pretty sure I told you not to sell T-Mobile. You already did. It's fine. I don't see it on your options, but I'm not sure why you sold that one. I told you not to. It's fine. Just trying to know what's going on in your mindset, how you're managing, why you're managing. And this is the thing, I already know how y'all are. Like last week, not trying to put nobody on blast, but somebody sold swings when I told him not to sell swings, and then literally told him, hey, if you get out of your swings in an hour or two, you're gonna want to get back in, and they're gonna be more expensive. You're gonna be chasing. That's exactly what happened. Told them sit on some, they didn't. 2 hours later, hey, I don't have any trades open. What do I do? Can I get back in? It's like, no, dude, you just sold. So just be patient. SPY about to lose the gap close area. So if it does that, pretty good for anyone who shorted. And again, you could have shorted just about anything: McDonald's, T-Mobile, Gold, SPY, a couple different names, and been probably green. I mentioned T-Mobile and Gold, but again, just about anything could have probably worked. I'm super green here, like really green. So again, I really hope y'all pay. And if you're not, my bad. I mean, not my bad. Like, hit me up. Let me see how I can help you out. But you know, I don't think I. Okay, you got different accounts. All right, bro. So respectfully, you just gonna make shit way harder for me. Try to keep everything in one account, or learn how to manage shit for yourself. Because there's no way I'm gonna be able to keep up with multiple different accounts, multiple different trades, multiple different people, you know. So if you put it all in one account, I can look at it quick, kind of see where your risk is at. But if you are doing multiple trades in multiple different accounts, just, you know what you're doing, which respectfully you don't. You're new, so take it slow, chill out. You don't gotta be taking a million trades. Some trades this account, some trades other account. Like, just relax, bro. That's a good trade. You up, so good shit. But yeah, chill. He took T-Mobile, bro. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he shorted T-Mobile, and I don't think it's a huge issue. I think the issue is probably his sizing. I don't know how much he bought in with. Yeah, see, Pilo chilling. Pilo, exactly. So that's like, everyone at the end of the day is responsible for their own trades. Everyone, is in different situations. And like Pilo, like you said, he's chilling last week's contracts. Why? Because he was patient last week. He did the correct thing, and he's just, in a better environment than people trying to short here. Is McDonald's still in, or shit? Wait. Seesaw, I think you knew here, or in the Discord, or I don't know. I haven't seen your name before, so I'm not sure. Did you short here today? Did you short from last week, or what's up? And we're bouncing off these lows. So again, unless we break down the bottom ranges, nothing significant here. SPY, bottom range bounce, Gold. So let's see if we manage to roll over, make new lows. T-Mobile's already green like 40% from the Riyadh, and we popped a little bit. They still green. Let me know if you heard me. See, so talk to me, bro. I'm trying to help you, but everything I think should go lower. But again, I'm trying to get more context of what you're doing yourself with McDonald's. Pretty sizable pop here on T-Mobile. Anything above 256, new high a day, I'm gonna just completely swipe those off my slate. And the shit I hate is that the spreads on this one are pretty wide. So let's say you do gotta get out quick, you're gonna take a pretty fat loss just on spread. Maybe not super fat, but you're gonna take a loss for sure on spread, plus whatever the loss is itself. So hopefully we roll over and get new lows here. Gold looks decent. I like the progress here. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that pop on T-Mobile. Didn't add on gold. All good. Seesaw, I don't know. So for now, I'll just say you under 298. I like sales on McDonald's above. Be careful being short. But again, I have no clue what you're doing. LQD is up over 100% on the May swings, up over 80% on the June swings, if anyone took them. I was super low risk trade on Friday. I mentioned it. I said it was a super good divergence trade. Multiple confirmations. Divergence was one, technicals were another, harmonics, etc. So super cool if anyone took that. Easy ass trade. My bad, I'm reading messages. What's going on? Hold on. My bad, bro. I'm trying to see what he's holding, but the screenshots you sent me have the. Send me those screenshots again, Luis. But take off. You know how you're watching YouTube? The YouTube pop-up is covering the contract. I don't know what he's holding. Oh, I see a T-Mobile with Strike. What did he buy, bro? Did he buy a deep in the money call? I can't tell, bro. You're covering the contract. Tell him will call me, bro. Shit. If he's losing money right now as we speak, tell him will call me. You want to stream, bro, or not? Hold up. Gotta help someone out real quick. See what's going on. Appealing potato. No, I think I'm confusing you for someone else. Didn't start yet. Okay. Well, if you keep waiting, you might miss your chance. The ideal entry would have been earlier. Keeping a bug with you might still be possible. Hold on, bro. I'm trying to see what's going on. I'm gonna go on mute for 1 second, y'all. My bad. I'm trying to help someone out real quick. I think they might be stuck in a bad trade. Where the fuck is this? My bad. I can't find his info. All right, going on mute literally for 30 seconds. Quick update. Gold's doing okay. If you're short gold, breakdown below this 277 level is good soup for anybody. Wait, hold up. I'm gonna go on mute. My bad, y'all. Hold up. Alright, I'm back. It is what it is. Fuck it, can't win them all, I guess. What's up with y'all? We paid on gold, good soup. Anyone in T-Mobile, we super green here. If you restarted the top on gold, good soup. On gold, what am I saying? On SPY, good soup. Again, I'm just calling the action. Plenty of these. Again, I never mentioned shorting SPY. Why I shared the setup. Didn't take don't take it myself. Y'all can take advantage of whatever you like. If there's something you want to trade yourself that isn't on my screen, let me know. I can tell you what I see on the levels. But again, you're free to trade whatever. I share what I like, what I'm taking. But y'all grown adults, you know, do your own DD, take your own trades if you'd like to. But yeah, 20% gold with no IC, so cool. Bro was I don't know. I'm gonna just assume you probably entered somewhere here, went down. Now you're green again. And again, if you were down and added up here, you're super green. If you never added, you're still green. So so far so good on that. Let's see what develops here. I feel bad for bro. It is what it is. So I tell y'all, take it slow, protect your profits, protect your capital. Y'all worked so hard last week, don't fuck it up this week. And it's barely Monday. We got a whole week or so ahead of us. I want new lows here, or I'll probably consider taking some risk off for my scalps. So I did scalp a lot of contracts, gold at the highs, T-Mobile at the highs. Those are up over 50%. So again, I'll probably take some size off here if we do not get new lows soon. But anyone who shorted the reshorted at the highs with me, you're pretty green here. Really green. LQD up over 100%. Holy shit. I'm up 152% on GOD. My bad for cussing. Low key, I want to stop cussing. I be cussing too much. But yeah, GOD 152%. If you reshorted. Should I get risk free? Psyched as fuck. I'm getting risk free. If y'all green on that re-add, get risk free. Should I sell half for 50? How many should I sell? What's the low of the day? I'm not gonna do a repeat of Friday. I sold way too early on Friday. I'm not doing that again. All right, so we have way more downside, but I'm gonna do the safe thing to do. I'm gonna take some off here just in case we bounce. I'd really want to hold for this entire move down, but I'm gonna be responsible, and you guys should be responsible too. So 150% greens here. I'd like to hold to $1 million, but obviously you got to do the correct thing, and the correct thing is to take some profits here. So this is 0 DTE, by the way. I'm not talking for swings. Don't get it twisted. If you're in swings, whole different conversation. I got 0 DTE scalps for this. They're up 150%. Swings, you're still chilling if you want to hold. Assuming we break down here. My bad. I just see your comment. Oh, so yeah, my bad. I'm not trying to confuse nobody. Not the swings. I'm in 0 DTE puts. They're up 150%. 160 here. So yeah. Swings y'all still could sit on. This is for the 0 DTEs. Yeah, my bad. Gotta be a little more specific. So if you would have taken that trade, you more than doubled your money. So all I'm doing is selling at least half of my position. That way, you know, prices go back down or whatever. I mean, go back up. I secured my initial capital and some. That's the thesis here pretty much. Let's see if they fail me on my second order. So I just set 2 orders, one above ask, one at slightly above mid. That one instantly got filled, so I fucked up on that one. And then the one above ask, let's see if I could get filled on a new low. That got me last week for how far out? That got me last week. What got you last week, William? What you talking about? How far out are your swings? For what trade? GLD or which one? Because like LQD, for example, was super cheap. I got May and June for that one, and they were like $100, bro. Ridiculous. May and June swings were $100. I told y'all, take advantage. Cheap as fuck. Right now they're up over 300, but not over 300 profit, but they're over $300 for June. Gold, I have 417 right now as a starter trade. Gold has been a tricky one. I've been battling it with the past few weeks, which is why I don't want to start anything longer term. Sure, I could have loaded more time on GLD, but I don't want to load swings here. Then we get a pop and I'm, you know, getting whipsawed again. So I'm going to take it week by week, day by day, somewhat on GLD until we break below significant levels. I'm still kind of on edge, trying to keep it tactical, if that makes sense. If you want to load more time yourself, you're more than welcome to. Just obviously manage that. But I'm doing 417 for my furthest out for now. Which isn't much time, by the way, but That's what I'm doing. $110% OKD, yep. So if anyone took those last week with those are really green. See, so I'm glad I got a little risk-free on GOD here. Not the biggest pop in the world, but on this pop, premiums on the 0DTs did drop about half. They were around 180%. Right now they're trading for around 100%. So, big difference. Look at that wick we just left on gold. Hopefully they flip it and push lower. Keep it tactical. Mazer 80% is fire. So let me know what y'all in. Pilo, I know you straight. I don't gotta talk to you. You chilling. Bro, Pilo been going crazy. Sheesh. Nah, but yeah, if y'all need help with some, tap in. If you know what you're doing, obviously, like, keep doing your thing. But I'd much rather y'all ask than, you know. So just ask. My bad, I was muted, y'all. Shit, I haven't checked the Discord. Bro, still trying to know what bro took. Hey, fire. JP. JP said, fuck SPY. I'm a big dog. I'm gonna hop on SPX. Good shit, gang. That's fire. I'm Seesaw. Oh, shit. Say less. I know who you is now. I didn't know who you was, gang. For sure. Starting to get associated with all y'all. Yeah, bro didn't reply. Walkart, what you take, bro? Or you probably replied already. I just didn't see it. Pretty sure you took like a SPY or Apple Card or some shit. I don't really like this right here on GOD, keeping it a buck. If it starts pushing up from here, this might be my sign to get out. Let's check the 3 minute. Yeah. So 2 potential scenarios. One, obviously you want to see resistance and stay below this. But if we do start getting a buff, you have this potential scenario filling this wick and maybe even going higher. So be super careful of your short. I still like it. Just again, want to see it stay below his resistance level so we can push lower. If we stay above, shit, be careful. But if we get the breakdown right here, this might be your payday. Look at that clean range. Yes, sir. That's us right here. We lose these lows, we catching this range to the downside. At least a couple $100. Hopefully. Let's see what's up. And then SPY pushing into the top range of that gap again. So same area we mentioned, pre-market potentially reshorting. That's where we at right now. See what happens. What do you mean my gold rebuy? I'm still holding. I'm assuming you're talking swings. I'm still in swings. If you're talking 0 DTE, I got risk free and I'm still holding runners. I know you had 0 DTE, which I don't know why you took. I'm glad you made money. They paid fast, but again, if you're a newer trader, focus on not losing money, not so much making money. 0 DTs are a fast, sure way to lose money, especially if you don't know what you're doing. If you have more experience down the line, sure, you can take them. But right now, I don't advise you to be taking 0 DTs. You secured, I don't know what you took today. Hopefully, you'll get 100% or whatever. But if you're already out, just refrain from, yeah, I know you were, which I'm telling you, don't be doing that. So if you got 100% today, be grateful. Next time it might be minus 50% in a matter of minutes, or it might be total loss. So just be careful. I issued the swings, and I'd much rather a small account like yours take swings and build it. Once you have more capital, then you can take more aggressive, risky trades. But if you don't have much and you take risky trades and lose it, then what are you left with? Grow it. Once you have more, then you can do more risky stuff. You're fine. I know you sold it with a profit. But just for future reference, try to be more careful, especially with 0 DTs. I'd refrain 100% just from buying them in general. Later down the line, once I feel like you're able to trade them, sure, maybe I'll issue some. That's just for you. Like I'm telling you, bro, you're better off taking it slow, grow the account. Once you have more money, I'll help you out. But right now, with what I'm seeing, I don't think you're ready to be trading 0 DT. And 0 DT isn't for everyone. And if you do take it, it should be a super small percentage of your total risk. You should never risk what you'd risk on a swing on a 0 DT. Sizing should be completely different, way smaller. Look at GLD, bro. Let's see if I get filled. I'm about to get filled. There's no way. Yeah, they filled me. No way. How am I not filled? We just got new lows. So I still got some orders set for oh, there it is. So I just got some more 0 DT runners filled at, where are they at? 175%. So not bad. Right now that you guys said TOS is slow, I'm gonna just say this. What would you guys do if your broker went down for the next 30 minutes? Or what would you do if your broker went down for the next couple hours, or the next couple of days, or 2 days, or 3 days? And this isn't a hypothetical zombie land scenario. This is a scenario that's happened before, not too long ago. Yes, be all cash, yes and no. Because when the COVID crash happened, I was super heavy on puts with swings and whatnot. So when the brokerages came back up, I was super profitable, but unfortunately a lot of people were long or, you know, had stocks, etc. So just be super careful, whatever you're in, you know, just be ready for anything. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not trying to scare, you know, flood and scare you guys. Like, that's not the point. I'm just trying to tell you guys, literally anything is possible. Thinkorswim went down not too long ago, maybe a year ago, or I don't know how long ago, but it was completely down. So are you prepared for that scenario? What would happen if you can't manage your trades? Are you in 0 DT? Do you have a weak time? Do you have a swing? You know, just be ready for anything. Nice bounce here on SPY, breaking out above that gap level. A lot of names also pushing to the upside. Not everything just yet, but a lot of names are pushing. No new highs, which is great. Still below the point of control. So if you're a bear, nothing to be too concerned about yet. But if we do keep pushing and push above highs, definitely going to be an invalidation point for those sells. As for gold, I want to see a breakdown below here and new lows. We're respecting that resistance for now. But at any point, if we do pop, fill that wick and go above that 278 sales below level, going to be your sign to potentially reconsider the swings, exit them, re-enter higher, hold on to them, and see what happens. But be prepared for potential drawdown on puts, obviously, if we break up above that 278. For now, I'm still chilling, and I'm still riding 0 DTE risk-free runners. So intraday, tactical time frame, aggressive trade, scalping, whatever you want to call it, on gold, I'm still short. I'll reassess if something changes, but for now, I'm still okay with shorts on gold. Yeah, it's scary if you're in something, bro. Like, I'm telling you, I was chilling because, you know, I'm in puts. Like, it was even a benefit because I know for a fact I would have not held my puts for that many days if the brokerage would have been up. I would have been sold. With the fact that they were down 3 days, I was literally forced to sit on my puts for 3 days, which benefited me a lot. But yeah, knowing me, I would be like, oh shit, sell. But this is, I'm telling you, the COVID crash was disgusting. We were gapping down day after day. Like, how are we doing? Let's see. Do I have time to cover this? I guess we're not too active. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna wait. If we break down here on gold, I'll go ahead and cover the COVID crash. But if we don't break down, I'm gonna just refrain from it in case we do pop up. I don't want to get, I don't want to take a hit on the 0 DT. I'll wait a bit. If we break down and I have clear confirmation for sales and I can chill a little more, then I'll go cover the COVID crash for y'all to show you. But yeah, we were gapping down nasty day after day for a whole month. A lot nastier than what we've seen right now. We haven't even limit halted intraday yet. We got a few of those during COVID. So trust me, if y'all think you got a good show so far last month, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Nah, don't get me wrong. It's been pretty active, but I just think we in for a wild ride. Bro, you probably the only one who took it though, JP. I just said don't be short. We could bounce to the highs, but I didn't say, hey, buy calls here on SPY, guys, you know? But you saw it, you took it, good shit. That's nasty, bro. Yeah, I wasn't even on the chain for SPY or SPX. I just knew the levels that, hey, we gotta go close that gap. We're trying to push around GLD, so again, let's see what happens above these levels. I'm gonna take the 0 DTs off 100%. And then I'll see what's up with the swings. The 0 DTs I'm risk free, by the way. I took off more than half, over 150%. So even if the rest go to zero, I'm still profitable. I'm obviously not gonna let that happen. And again, if we break up above here, I'll consider taking them off. But for now, it is literally impossible to lose on that. So yeah, bro, sometimes when the trades move so fast, unless you chase on the ask or something, trying to get filled, it's kind of hard. But even then, you know, obviously you don't want to be chasing and shit, so it sucks. That happened to me on T-Mobile on Friday, bro. I set a couple orders, but I did 3 sets. Obviously, like, getting cheaper and cheaper, but literally only 1 set failed. So I didn't really have a lot of size on the 0 DT T-Mobiles, but fuck it. Still got in, I guess. Yeah, be careful with TOS. I haven't been trading on TOS for a minute. I've never had any issues with them when I was with them, but yeah, just be careful if you guys are having issues, depending what broker you're on. And respectfully, because I know a majority of y'all are on Robinhood. Robinhood is probably the shittiest broker. I've had my fair share of issues with Robinhood. So yeah, if you can move on to a better broker once you get the knowledge and whatnot, I'd recommend it. Way better brokerages out there. Nothing wrong with it. If it's what you want, it works, it's fine, you can still make money. But eventually I'd definitely hop something else. BNPV hitting green. Hey, you Puerto Vallarta again? Sheesh. Or PV where? Give me some time. I'm gonna get accustomed to all of y'all. But some new names. It's cool. And then some names I know y'all been here, but I'm just trying to, you know, match Discord names to YouTube names and IGs and whatnot. So CVX, what am I saying? CVS, fill that upside gap. So same scenarios we mentioned, fill upside gaps and come lower. Just again, I really don't think I'd take this. Let me check premiums. I guarantee you, what am I saying? I guarantee you they're probably over 150 bucks, 100 bucks. That's super expensive for a $50 stock. I would never. The last time I took CVS that the trade was a banger and it made pretty nice returns, I think we paid like 20 bucks per contract or less or something like that. GOD, come on. This is probably one of my bigger size trades, so hopefully we get the breakdown. Other than that, T-Mobile, I have decent size from the ads today. And then I have the swings that I already managed last week, which hopefully keep paying. And if not, let's see what's up. But yeah, GLD and T-Mobile were probably my bigger ones for now. Let's see if we get opportunities to take something else, but don't like too much stuff. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna check. I forgot. I'm gonna check the CVS prices. I'm honestly not even gonna consider it. Like I haven't checked, but I'm telling you, I really doubt it's a reasonable trade. Yeah, fuck no. You got me fucked up. Sorry, bro. I'm telling you, I want to stop cussing, and here I am. So the 63 puts for CVS are 206 at the bid, 254 at the ask. You're telling me you're gonna risk as much on a trade on CVS, which is a $60 stock, as you could have gotten in on T-Mobile today? Yeah, no, not gonna happen. Just doesn't make sense. Fuck no. Can it pay? Sure. It's not something I'd advise or ever do. Alright, so point of control is what I'm watching for here on SPY. I do not want to see us back above point of control. If that does happen, short-term bias might flip bullish. So if you are still in any shorter time frame shorts, be careful. Only one I kind of like is gold, not really, because it is starting to come up a bit. But it is one of the names still sitting around the lows. Cuss chart. I don't have one of those, William. I should maybe get one. Yeah, I gotta check that. T-Mobile is up over 50%. They're going back to about entry prices. So again, depending what develops here, this is gonna be probably where I just completely cut the shorter time frame trades for now, or consider well, not re-adding, but we either flip here or I consider getting out. Across the board, by the way, gold, T-Mobile, if you're short SPY, whatever the case may be. TV lagging too. I'm gonna flip my 3-minute timer here. Let's see if we can get it done within the next 3 minutes. Tied at Wakefield. Are you balanced? I don't know how your port is, how much risk you have, what you in. I wouldn't be against that. I see what you're talking about. You're talking about the upside wick on the 15. It can definitely happen, but I cannot guarantee it. So if you're already in, I wouldn't add here. Just wait. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you're in. You're already in, I think. So just wait. If you're not in, different scenario. You can maybe get in here just in case you don't get the wick fill. But if you are short, yeah, just wait. And then if you do get the wick fill, you want to add for less, go for it. But not here. Let me know if that's straight. And again, bro, I don't know what you rocking right now. I don't know what swings you still got on, what you added today. So just make sure you can stomach any overnight losses or pullbacks, pops, etc. And nice little pullback. How we been on the action so far today? Not too bad, right? Been doing okay, I think. Mentioned potentially bouncing off these lows to close the gap. Got it. Mentioned potentially shorting. Coming into this rally. Paid. Mentioned potentially reshorting here. So far so good. Hopefully we can keep dropping. But if you've taken any of those call outs as a trade and you've managed it actively, you should be green, hopefully. Again, I don't know what y'all be doing, but you can fuck up even a good setup respectfully. Gold, moment of truth. If we get under those lows, great. And again, if that doesn't happen, probably just going to be my sign to exit those 0 DTEs. My 3-minute timer is about to go out. I have maybe about 15-30 seconds left on that. It's a sand timer, so I don't really know. Just kind of flip it. I like, it's not really like a trading tool, trading hack, nothing like that. It's just something I personally use. I find it useful, which you don't really need. But I have a 3-minute sand timer whenever I'm in a decision point, like here on gold, for example, where I'm debating, do we bounce or do we sell? I'll just flip my 3-minute timer and I'll say, hey, if within the next 3 minutes this triggers, I'll sit on my trade. If within the next 3 minutes we don't trigger, I'll take it off, or enter it, don't enter, etc. You can use it for different ways. And again, this isn't a trading hack or tool, just something I personally use and I like having on my desk. Quick and easy. Flip the sand timer, wait for the time, and make your decision. Time's up. You know, you gotta have made your decision, you in, you out. So that's a perfect example here on gold. So we're either bouncing or making new lows, and within those 3 minutes you had your decision to be made. If you managed it at the lows, great, in case we do pop, so you don't miss out on those profits. And then if we drop and you missed out, you did take it off or to trim, etc., you'll miss some profits, but at least you did what you had to do. So in trading, as long as you try to do the correct thing, in the long run you'll be fine. If you continue to do risky shit that you know you shouldn't be doing, you're gonna end up blowing up your account. But if generally 9 out of 10 times you do the correct thing, you'll be fine. If 1 or 2 times, hey, I got greedy, I didn't take profits, it's fine. But if you make it a habit, you do it all the time, it's really gonna become an issue down the line. Yeah, it's so I trade off the 3-minute time, the 3-minute time frame, so which is I use a 3-minute candle. Sorry, 3-minute sand timer. But if you want to get like a 15-minute one or something, that's cool too. So 3-minute and 15-minute are 2 time frames I use a lot, and great for referencing entries, exits. So far so good. Again, if you took the reshort, you're paid here. All we need is to come down and put new lows across the board, and I'd say we're gonna be safe to swing those sells. But it's still not 100% in the bear's control. New lows across the board, yes. Right now we only have control on the smaller time frame. I want to shift back the control to the bear's hands on the higher time frames here. And gold, new lows, so cool. If you win that, great. 0 DTs are up 190%, and the swings are up 35. To this, I'm trying to snake the chain. I'm trying to find something cheap. I'm trying to find something nice, but it's really hard today, not gonna lie. You guys know me, I always got bargains, I always like trades, I try to find stuff, but it's really hard in this environment, especially when a lot of this stuff already moved. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. I'm gonna check something out. Hold on. Let's see if I can find us another trade for today. Gold is printing here 250%. So if you took that, congrats. That's a 0DT GOD put. What was I gonna do? Okay, let's see. Most traded options today. Where's their volume at? And where's their low IV at? Holy. There is a disgusting amount of puts on SPY being traded today. We have 3.2 billion puts on SPY that hit the tape. If this is sold risk, this is gonna trigger the next massive leg lower. So what I'm scared of is everyone saying, hey, I don't want to buy calls because it's a risky environment. VIX is super elevated, puts are super expensive. So instead of buying calls, which are super expensive and super risky, why not sell puts, which are really expensive? Again, it makes sense in hindsight and in retrospect, but if the market does melt, or they can melt if that is correct, and these are sold puts, because that adds added selling pressure where the market maker is going to want to push down into those puts sold, taking that liquidity. Again, not saying that's going to happen, but if those puts were sold, that's not a good sign. So let me show you guys what I'm looking at. This here on SPY, 3.2 billion puts. That's massive. Let me double check this is today's data. That is huge. There's no way. Excuse me, where's the date? As of today. Come on, Red, do y'all see a date anywhere? No, right? Refresh. Yeah, I think that's today's data. Hot collar put volume. I do not see a date on this. I'm assuming it's today's data. But yeah, that is massive. I really hope, again, those are not sold. Other than that, we have, let's see. Sheesh, no way. There's not much where they're buying more calls than puts. Oh, gold, what is going on? My bad, I didn't even notice. So 275% on those right here. Great. What was I gonna say? Let me sell another two. What was I gonna do? My bad, I got distracted by gold right now. I just placed some orders for 0DTs. I'm taking some more 0DTs off right here. They're super green, don't see why I wouldn't. And if anyone else is in 0DTs, definitely do that here too. Still gonna try to ride some, but no reason not to get out right here for over 270%. My bad, I'm quiet right here. I'm trying to doing some research. Holy, so that's ridiculous. All the stocks I mentioned that were super low IV are now super elevated IV. The cheapest IV I can find right now is around 32%. That's for PG, J&J, KO. Your names that were probably trading around 20%, if not under 20% IV. So yeah, this is ridiculous, but T-Mobile is one of the few green names. So I guess that was, like I said, T-Mobile made sense to add, and it's one of the few names I added today. Other than that, nothing really was quality per se. But yeah, as you guys can see, T-Mobile is one of the few green names. So if you added up here at the highest, congrats, you're green here. If you want to add here, it's still not a terrible add, but you are buying in higher than what we paid today up here. And again, not much quality where I can say, hey, this is a great entry. Not really. There's not many great or quality entries. T-Mobile was decent, Gold was decent, both paying here. And for a potential ad, if not already in, T-Mobile can still pay more from here. So there's that. But again, both of these paying so far. GLD paid really well. So congrats if you trailed on 0 DTs or swings or anything. But yeah, my bad, y'all. I swear, everybody that's been in the chat, they know I'll be scoping everything. I'll be looking at the chain. I'll be finessing everything. I'll be finding deals. But pretty tough in this environment. Be happy that Gold and T-Mobile are paying here. And then obviously the call outs, not to buy puts, lows, etc. Whatever. Hopefully y'all green on the day. But get used to it. Shit gonna be tricky from here going out. So you either evolve, adapt, and grow with the market, or you gonna get left behind and they gonna take your account with them. So I don't want to hear nobody in the chat crying, oh, I did this, oh, I lost money, oh, this. Like, yeah, it's just a tough ass environment. Like, you don't want to get hurt. Don't go outside. Right now it's dangerous outside, just letting y'all know. So if you got experience, just be extra cautious. If you don't have experience, I'm letting y'all know again, not the best environment to be learning in. You're like, you know, it's like a baby, right? You can barely crawl and they telling you that you gotta run. So good luck. Not saying can't happen, but you definitely gonna struggle to keep up a bit at first. Yeah, bro, they shooting everybody in the stocks streets right now. Yikes, I just looked at my port. I gotta sell something. I'm gonna sell more gold, fuck it. Again, these are shorter time frame swings. I had a grip of 0 DTs. I really want to see new lows and us to keep pushing lower, but these are up way too much for me not to sell. I just looked at my port overall and yeah. No way I'm not trimming. What's ideal target? What date? 4/17? So look, regardless of date, if you're on a smaller account and you want to scalp profits to grow your account, that's cool. Because at the end of the day, let's hear, you know, hypothetically speaking, because I don't know your situation. Let's say you have a small account, $1,000, whatever. You got 2 gold swings. You're up 50%, 100%, whatever. So that's a pretty big win on a small account, right? Let's say you say, hey, while the targets are lower, I'm going to hold on to my swings. You don't get those targets. Now you give up profits, potentially even some of your initial capital. Now, instead of having 1,000 initial, you're at 500, 750, don't know, just to give you examples. So even if it's not the biggest win and you're like, oh, you know, I wanted to triple my money, double, whatever. I wanted to get gold to 250, whatever the hypotheticals are, you got to keep in mind, it's a hypothetical. At the end of the day, all you have is what is in front of you. And if you don't realize it, you can't really, you know, take it for granted. So don't know your situation with your account, but even if you're swinging, consider scalping profits here and there to grow the account later on down the line. Once you have extra capital and you can swing and hold on to swings, scale out, scale in, different story. Assuming you're on a small account, you do want to realize profits at some point and play it maybe a little more passive. But if you have 417 puts and we get below these levels and stay below, ideally, hopefully, we'd want to be below 270. Can it happen? Will it happen is a different story. But 272 to like 270, I think is ideal and possible. It's just, again, will it happen? Who knows? Can it? Yeah. So let's see what we get here. But again, any breakout above highs, maybe above this resistance, just take it off. You said it yourself. I entered late or I entered early. I never added. I was red and I'm still green. So it's like you're literally making fun of the market. Like, damn, bro, I'm playing like shit and I'm still beating you. It's like, bro, keep talking shit. Like, the market gonna come take that money. So it's like, maybe not in this case, but I'm just saying, if you know you didn't have the best entry, you know that you didn't add, you know that it was red, now you're green. And instead of being like, hey, I want more money, why don't you say, hey, I was red and I have some greens? So y'all gotta switch up your mentality and your perspective if you want to be in this game in the long run. Cause yeah, just trust. So do what you want with that game. But yeah, if you was red, you green here. Maybe not all the money in the world, but it's something. So again, your situation, your account, your everything. Don't know what else you got, but that's just what I gotta say about that. But again, if we don't lose these lows on gold, no reason for anybody to be short. Technicals don't make sense. What if we get a small bounce before rolling over? Again, I'm not saying this happens, but you want to see the trigger below the lows and stay below. If we don't stay below these lows and reclaim them, different story. Short-term comments. Reverse on 15-minute. It's possible. We haven't moved too much, but I'd say it's still early to tell. SPY still below that opening gap. Gold below the level we wanted to see it below. So far I like the action. I'm okay with my sells unless we break out and invalidate the sells. For now I'm gonna sit on them. I'll be right back, y'all. Hopefully we don't fucking pop right here from this level or break out or anything, because the ranges are getting pretty tight. But I'm gonna run to get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Shouldn't take me more than 3 minutes. But let's see what we get. Range is getting tight. See which way they trigger. Be right back. I'm back, my bad, yo. I'm not trying to have y'all hear me slurping my coffee, but my bad. I'm back. So gold, great, cool. Want to see new lows. At this point, I'm out and not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a couple more runners on the 0DT, but I'm risk free, so I'm not really worried about managing that. At this point, I'm just more concerned of, do we hold and bounce, or can we actually break down from here? That's gonna decide what I do with my swings. But yeah, want to see the clean breakdown right here. Rejection on SPY off those levels again. New lows on PG, or trying to put in new lows. McDonald's pushing lower, T-Mobile, etc. So far so good. Sitting, somewhat kind of easy on my positions, but don't want to get too confident. We have a bounce out of nowhere right now, and obviously get crushed on those. So I'm risk free on 0DTs. You guys should be too. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Feeling a little overly confident. Don't really like it, but I mean, the setups look clean to the downside. Hopefully they trigger. I never like being overly confident, but I mean, the setups just look clean, so what can I do about it? You can be overly confident and really, believe in your analysis. The issue is when you oversize. Nothing wrong with being confident, but you should not oversize, regardless of how confident you are or not. How do I move this? Oh yeah, shit's busting now. Anyone still in GOD, 0DTs? I think Luis was in. You still in or not? And if y'all been making money, I appreciate it. Y'all drop a like on the video. I don't know how the algo works, and I doubt that shit will make a difference, but fuck it. Drop a like if you got paid. 300% right here on GOD. I don't think anyone else is in 0DT though. Everyone just got the swings, but fuck it. The swing's green too. I'm up 45% on the swing. Not bad. What y'all in? Y'all still here? Y'all still trading? Y'all sold? Oh, buddy. I just saw your text, Luis. Oh, I was looking at the wrong section. I mean, still though. You got... how many contracts do you have for T-Mobile, Luis? 2? Oh, never mind, I see it. No, I don't see it. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Damn, gang. You get... What's your balance? You're starting to push your risk, bro. Hopefully T-Mobile hits for you and you can flip that. But I'm telling you, you're starting to get a little too aggressive on your risk. If T-Mobile doesn't hit, you're gonna take obviously a hit on that. And looking at your port, I don't know if you could stomach it. At least not with going all in on the trade type shit. So cool, fire. If you get profits on that, try to take off at least one. You want to hold the other ones until the wick fill at the lows? Your call, but I'm telling you, I'd at least try to take one off today. Or yeah, probably that's fine. But yeah, again, you're starting to get a little too aggressive again. In a high high probability setup where your levels are super clean, 100% sure, like 2 weeks ago, last week, I'll be like, fuck it, y'all can be a little more aggressive. But right here, I'm not being super aggressive myself, just because of the same reason, it's a little risky. So hopefully you get paid on that, gang. But yeah, be careful with that one, especially with how wide the spreads are. You already know. But fuck it, I ain't mad at you, bro. Should hit for you. Not bad, it was cold. What y'all talking about? Oh, what I said? I'm lost. I don't know, but free agent. What you talking about, Josh? You don't got nothing? Bro, I'm mad at you. No kids, bro. You did good last week, and I said, hey, be careful, chill, don't fuck up your profits. It's all good, bro. You live and you learn. But if you would have been holding your same trades, you would have probably not taken that loss you did. And to get short right here, you're potentially repeating the same mistake you did earlier. So, don't know what to tell you again. Is it a terrible short to maybe short T-Mobile here if not already short? Not terrible, but like I said, bro, you were already short and you sold it for a loss, and now we're lower than where you probably sold that and you want to buy it back. So swings, gold, T-Mobile, McDonald's, beautiful, William, like that. Well, I mean, because respectfully, bro, 50% to me isn't much. At minimum, on all my options trades, I expect 1-to-1 RR. What does that mean? I want to see over 100% on all my trades. I'll trim secure before if I have to, but I'm not planning to take a trade beforehand, assuming I'm gonna make less than 100%. Just because, you know, that's the way my system and my strategy is designed. Whoever's been trading with me for some time, like Pilo, like you already know how that shit works. It makes it your life stress-free, way easier. I call it the get risk-free strategy. I don't know what you want to call it. It's not really like I have a name for it, but if you can get over 100% on your trades, sell 50% or more, you can literally sit on shit and be chilling. Like gold, for example. I sold a few contracts here for like, I don't remember, 175%. Sold a few more right here for like 275. Right now they're trading for over 300%, and I'm still sitting on them with zero out-of-pocket risk, and I'm still making a shitload of money. So, no, yeah, bro. Like I get it. You're like, damn, that's crazy. 100%. It seems unrealistic, but genuinely, 100% in options ain't shit. Like they'll move 100% in a matter of minutes. And you gotta have that mindset, because if you're not at minimum aiming for that 1-to-1 RR, in the long run, I don't think you're gonna be profitable. Sure, you can be, but if you're losing more than you're making, it just doesn't make sense. You always want to make sure you're making more on your winners than you're losing on your losers, and that's a problem some people have. I used to have that problem myself before. Had really amazing winners, but then one really big bad trade will fuck it up for you. So it just takes practice, sizing everything. That's why I tell you guys, be patient. If you get risk free and sell 50% or more for over 100%, yeah, it's impossible to go negative. Even if the runners go to zero and expire out the money, you still, you know, at minimum break even, depending what you sold at and stuff. But like this gold trade, for example, there's no way I'm gonna lose money on it. Which, matter of fact, I'm gonna probably sell 2 more. Why haven't I gotten filled? Well, yeah, I have an order working, but that's what I like to do. Slytherin, I don't believe in max risk. Yes and no. I'm not going to tell you to risk 50% of your account, 100%, 30%, because it's pretty stupid to full port your account. But why I don't believe in max risk on your whole account is because, let's say I have a $100,000 trading account, but at most I say, hey, I just want to risk 10% of that account. That means I'm only going to risk or touch 10%, which is 10K. If I only want to risk 10K, why do I have to have 100K parked in an account if I'm not going to touch the other 90K? I'm just touching 10. I'd rather push 10 and if I get it to 100, take the money out, run it back. Versus, I don't know, it just max risk. I don't think is something real. Yes and no. So again, don't full port your account. But there's people that say, oh, you know, I have a 100K account, but I only risk 1% a day. It's like, bro, that's stupid. Why do you have a 100K account to risk only max 1,000? Just fucking open a $1,000 account. So that's what I say about that. But generally, the less risky you are, the better. Rule of thumb, minimum, no matter what. I don't care how confident you're on a trade, you never go more than 30% of your size. You have to be able to withstand 10 losses in a row. It's a mental thing. Not sure what you're referring to, but definitely can't have a normal mindset in trading. If you have a conventional mindset, it's not going to work out. And again, I didn't have this mindset when I came into trading. After, you know, multiple lessons, losses, etc., you realize, hey, like, you either do shit how it's supposed to be done, or you're gonna, you know, pay the consequences. So I'll always do that when I get a chance. Reduce risk, trim, etc. As far as why they have the huge counts for small risk, I don't see how it would be a mental thing, me personally. It just depends on the person, but again, I don't see why you would sit 100K in account and say, hey, I'm only risking 1% a day. That's 1K. Like I said, just trade a 10K account, 1K, whatever. It's not even about taking the 1K up. It's just, it doesn't make sense why you park so much money and say I'm only risking a small percent. You're still going to risk the same dollar amount. But percentages are more important, though. I will say that in terms of, you know, going down the line, being able to scale your account, consistency, percentage is what you do want to focus on, not dollar amount. But like I said, if you're only trading 1K, why have that 100K account? Just my 2 cents. Unless you need the collateral to sell stuff, no point. You're cooling, bro. You're getting paid. I like your trades. Just, I'm telling you, T-Mobile, you have too much risk. And if it pays, like I said, congrats. Fat ass bag, good soup. But if we pop up and break out from this level, to be able to lower your cost average and, you know, be okay, you're going to have to literally full port it because you're risking a decent amount on that trade. Whatever your net value on the market for that is for all the contracts, divided by half. That's what you're going to potentially have to roll into the trade, assuming it goes red. And again, not saying it happens, but if you do hold overnight, you said you're taking it off, whatever. I'm just throwing hypotheticals. So it's cool, bro. Just keep your size small until you get a little more bread, and then you can start scaling up. Maybe midweek or something. Right now, just try to keep it tactical, get a couple more wins under your belt, get some cash flow. Bro, premiums are lagging. I think just brokers in general probably slow. No way. AVGO leading today. Bruh. Almost a perfect. No, I think that was a perfect tag of the 0.5. I shared this shit like way back here. Alright, so I don't really like this. If long, I mean my bad, not if long. If short, which we are on names like, you know, T-Mobile, Gold, etc. Be careful if we do this, right? First target, wick fill here. If we break out above that, we have the 618. If we get above the 618, we're gonna trigger this path that we mentioned potentially doing last week, which is gonna take you back to your ER wick fill. That's a massive upside range, and if you overlay the SPY on there, that doesn't make sense, I guess. I'll check the daily. What does it look like this? I don't fuck with how it looks, but technically the thesis would be if we are gonna bounce, one, AVGO is slightly leaning a little bit here. I want to pair these. Probably not gonna work, it's fine. So the thesis is if AVGO does this, you're gonna do something similar on SPY, potentially coming to retest the level we broke down from, which would be maybe, wait, where is my, there we go, that's why it wasn't working. Yeah, so SPY's at the lows, right? Let me delete all this, it looks messy now. Alright, SPY's at the lows. Down here, pink line. AVGO is leading to the upside. Two scenarios. One, AVGO is gonna give up its strength, or two, SPY is about to pop and catch up to semis. There's a potential scenario that we just discussed on AVGO going back to retest that ER wick fill. If that were the scenario and that does happen, that would coincide with SPY potentially going back to retest, like, I don't know, for 580, 590. Which is where you have that 587 wick fill on SPY. Again, not saying it happens, just be super mindful and be prepared, because I've been issuing, you know, the swings on T-Mobile, GOD, etc. If we do bounce from these levels, there's a potential scenario where SPY goes back to retest the 587 wick fill, which I cannot see on here for some reason. I'll check it, but yeah, just be mindful. If we bounce across the board from here, there's a possible scenario where SPY is at 587. Not saying it happens, but just be prepared. So hopefully your sells, bears remain in control. If not, might want to take some off. GOD so far so good. And then SPY, as long as it stays below these levels, so far so good. But be mindful of the huge upside. And I do think semis will come down way more. So by no means am I saying, you know, go all in on calls. Sure, this is possible, but if we lose these lows, we're going daily. We have much lower targets. So yes, 133 is a significant drop, 50% from the highs, but I still have much lower targets. 96 is one of them, and then the next target is down into, can I really issue that? I mean, I guess. I don't recall when I made the targets this low, so I don't want to say we're going here, but it's definitely possible. For now, let's just say 105, 98-ish, 99 is a potential target on AVGO. So just be careful going all in on any calls. Or just in general buying any calls. But for sure, strength in semis today. And like I said, perfect bounce off that 133, which I've shared all these levels some time ago. I wasn't even watching semis today, honestly. Yeah, if you cut the longs right here off the open. Sheesh, that's disgusting. Let's see if they give it up now. So you got this type of a pattern getting tight. So do we break out, break down back to the lows? I'm not touching this. Fuck no. If you think IV and shit is expensive on regular names, good luck touching semis. New lows on gold inbound. So I'm happy because sometimes, well, generally I take a couple different trades just to diversify, but sometimes the trade you'll actually throw size on is the one that doesn't move, and the one where you put a little bit of money, you know, moves a shitload or whatever. That's happened to me before. I'm sure it's happened to y'all. So you can't predict what's gonna move how much. You just, you know, take the risk, and sometimes some trades pay more than others. But in today's instance, my biggest trade was GOD, and GOD's been the biggest winner from so far everything I've called. So I'm happy with that. It was the higher probability setup. It's the one I issued more capital on and worked out. Not always the case, but cool today, I guess. And again, I want to see a break below 275 here on gold. If not, I'll consider taking off some more 0 DTEs. They're up 311% at this point. Spy trying to push up above that opening range open gap. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of chilling here though. Hopefully you guys have been doing okay. You already profited stuff where you're not really too concerned what happens here. So I'll kick it for a bit, but yeah, I'm pretty risk off here. I got my swings and all that, so you don't start getting it twisted. But the risky stuff like 0 DTEs and stuff, where I really wanted to keep it tactical, I'm already good with. So swings, I'll defend passively, but for now, I don't plan on doing too much. My bad, I'm replying to some messages. Should I mute myself? Low key, huh? I think I'm a trader? Nah, low key secretary. just playing. That should look probably annoying as fuck, huh? Especially if y'all got headphones on or something. Alright, Gold Zero DT is up 340% right here. So again, I don't know, like Hammers free, y'all should be too. Super easy trade, 300%. Y'all could go chill, enjoy the rest of your day right here if you really wanted to. So just to show y'all how, I mean, not easy it is, because it's not always this clean and this easy. But that was a really good trade if you caught it. Watching T-Mobile here. Hopefully T-Mobile can come down a bit too. We get paid out a bit on those. Yo, Pedro, I just saw your DM, bro. My bad. I don't know if you're in the stream or not, but nah, probably not. What do you mean a session for tonight? I'm not trading London session or Asian session or anything like that, if you're asking. I just come in pre-market, give levels. My analysis was in here pre-market in the Discord. I covered that analysis here on the YouTube stream pre-market, gave the levels, executed on the trade idea as I mentioned. But I'm not sure what you mean by a session tonight. Right around now, I'd be ending the stream, call it a day. Gold paid over 300%, so good soup. But I don't know what you mean. I just stream the mornings, not really at the night. So let me know what you mean by that. If you're asking if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, yeah, I'll probably stream tomorrow. If you mean like review the session after, not really. I'll be here pre-market tomorrow to review for tomorrow's levels. Maybe, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm in the Discord. Like, y'all could ask me shit if we get new lows, breakout, or anything has to be updated. Sure, I'll give you guys an update. But for the most part, majority of the time in trading, you're just waiting, whether for a trigger, for an entry, for an exit. So that's what I plan on doing. unless levels change drastically where I need to say, hey guys, take your puts off, I'm just gonna go ahead and sit on those swings.
Let me know if that answers your question.
But no, I don't do like a daily trade review. Unless it's like, hey, we had a bad loss, let's cover what went down. But you know, I'd rather go enjoy the day. You took your 300% or whatever you made, come back tomorrow morning, review levels. You should generate your own trades and keep up with them, but this is a form of journaling in a way. But y'all should do your own shit for sure. Yeah, so Sunday session, I ended up not doing it this weekend just because I wanted to see how futures open, which obviously we opened on a fat gap down, which by the way, I'll pull it up, fuck it. There I go cussing again. Which one is it? I think it's that one. Yeah. Let's see. Alright, there it is, yeah. So this was a drawing I had drawn last week on stream and covered with you guys, mentioned, hey, if we break down from these levels and lose the lows, we're going here. This was the sell side liquidity, which we targeted, we filled. Now the potential problem or opportunity here is, first let's zoom out just to show you guys where we are. Before anyone says, oh, I'm buying the dip, this is the bargain of a lifetime. Are you sure? These are the targets to the downside. You're not even down a quarter of the way. So just be careful of your, I don't know what you want to call it. Like everyone is so confident that these are the lows. So just be mindful where we're really at. We're nowhere near the lows. But this was a setup, the scenario I said, hey, lose these lows. We're going here to this target. We got the south side liquidity target. And that's where we're currently trading, right? So from this point, we have a couple scenarios that can happen. Well, just two, if I'm being honest with you guys. One, lose the lows or break out above the highs, right? Mentioned going up to close the gap, which we did here, left the wick to the upside. Now we can fade from that level and lose these lows, or they're gonna pop back up and break out. So again, I say there are two scenarios because there are literally only two scenarios. Above this yellow line, you can technically be bullish, expecting some upside pressure to fill this wick, maybe even higher. How high, don't know. But above yellow, you can expect upside. We're currently below it, right? As long as we remain below it, you want to see us do something like this and reach these lows. So below these lows confirm sells, and above this yellow confirms buys. Between this range, you shouldn't really be doing too much. But that's where we're at right here. So hopefully, as long as we stay below and trigger lower, that's where we're at. And the problem is if you do swing, what if we close within this range, right? You hold your puts and we open over here tomorrow. Obviously, you're gonna be underwater on those. So that's where I tell you guys, watch your sizing. Because what if you do that? Now you're down 50% or more on the trade and you don't have size or money to add to that trade. So watch your sizing, but most definitely watch these levels. Above yellow, short-term bullish on SPX. Below, short-term bearish. So I hope that makes sense. But again, this is a super fine line in the sand, and you should stay super tactical here. T-Mobile coming down a tiny bit. Flag here. So let's see what develops. And gold hopefully gives us a leg lower here. It looks like it wants to. We already got our target delivered, but I want a new low, please. If you ask nicely, you shall receive. Just say please. William, I trade straight Bitcoin spot with leverage. So I don't really like options on it. You have MSTR, you have Vito, you have a couple options, but I'm not a fan of none. If I'm gonna trade Bitcoin, honestly, I just trade straight leverage forex, which is basically every dollar it goes down or up. It's like futures, you know this, but it's not my favorite thing to do. I love shorting Bitcoin when the opportunity presents itself. It's just so volatile. You know, when you move $1,000 in a minute, obviously depending your size and whatnot, if it works. There's a lot of things you can short. I'm not saying you can't. I don't think I do any of them. The underlyings don't make sense. IVs, costs, whatnot. You know me, Luis. I issued MSTR a long time ago, and the IV then was over 100%. We literally shorted the Pico top on MSTR. If you want to short it, sure, cool. But so we shorted it literally up here. It paid like 20x in a day, 30x, I don't remember. But we've been consolidating, hasn't broken down. You have much lower targets. The problem with names like these is that the IV's over 100% probably. I know it is, I'm pretty sure. I don't even gotta check. And then UVXY with the higher, you know, just trust me. I don't even want to look at what these contracts are going for. They're probably super expensive. But we're gonna come back down to these levels if I had to guess. So 50% drop on MSTR. Vito will probably also come down. Like I said, there's several names you can short, but not one trade that I think makes sense for options. Let's see, what can we lock in on? The ranges are getting super tight. Lock in your bets. We're about to move soon. It never filled, but it would have. Rosana, I'm not sure. So you missed the trade, but because you didn't get filled on the entry, or? But it sucks. I thought you were in it. Just trying to understand. I had never been filled, so you missed the entry, I'm guessing. MSTR. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The correlation under 70 to 50k. I don't know what you're saying, bro. And GLD is still getting greener, so cool. I'm gonna probably kick it max 30 minutes here, guys. So let me know right now what's going on. What are y'all in? What are y'all holding? Do you guys need help with anything? Because you guys are gonna have me on stream for another 30 minutes, and after that you're gonna have to tap in the Discord. So let me know what's up. Did y'all make money? Are y'all in trades? Are y'all trying to get into something? Talk to me. Just managing gold swing. All right. Again, bro, I don't know your other trades, portfolio size, contracts. Is it just one? Is it multiple percentage? So I'm cool with gold. You're okay to hold. I'm still holding gold swings, but again, I have many other trades, and I'm okay with a little bit of a pullback. Oh, yeah, I see one contract. If you can stomach a pullback overnight, and you know have money to make other trades, then I'd consider maybe holding. If not, like I said, at some point you got to realize some profits and you know just go on to the next trade, whether it's 30, 50, I don't know how much you're up, take the percentage win and you know just go for the next scalp. But I do like the swings to potentially sit on if you're comfortable and you know financially responsibly to hold per your account and whatnot. Once you guys 1K, I think is an okay start. It's not terrible. If you start with less, you can, but it's just a little harder, especially in this environment. So it allows you to buy multiple contracts, scale out, take different trades, etc. And then from 1K, once you hit a couple trades, you'll be at 5K in no time. And from there, you can really start to manage your risk better. Multiple contracts, different trades, and shit like that, while keeping your risk within a reasonable level. With 1K, like being honest with you, you take 2 trades, 2 contracts, so you're already max full porting your shit. So I get it, it's hard. Josh, you can't say you over your trade and you come in here trying to revenge trade. This was like, all right, I'm over the loss. I'm ready for the next one. Come on, bro. Like, nah, gang. I'm telling you, you fucked up on selling the puts. If you want to get in here or earlier when I told you to, you could have. It's not the best thing to do. But if you keep waiting and the move happens, then you get in, that's when you're going to fuck up for real. Because the move hasn't happened really. Premiums are up a tiny bit. Gold is up a lot. But like T-Mobile, for example, we haven't broken out of this range yet. Don't try to get in after we have broken out. If you were still holding, you'd be chilling. But again, if you want to take it here, it's not the best trade, bro. Keeping it a buck. Don't know what to say other than that, gang. If you want to take it, I wouldn't be mad at you, but I don't know, bro. I feel like it's tough to say, bro. Your call, gang. If you want to get in, go for it, but it's not the best decision. Your morning fuck up, like, hey, it happened. If you would have held them and still been holding, you'd be in a different position. But like I said, you bought high, sold low, and you're trying to buy back higher. So fundamentally speaking, you're not doing the correct thing. But it's still an okay trade. You can still make money. Just, you did make a mistake earlier. So if you're okay overpaying and literally getting in higher than what you sold out at, that's your decision. But I'm sure you understand how that doesn't make sense. It's not the best decision to make. Am I making sense, bro, or am I just like going back and forth? Like, I hope that makes sense, bro. Yeah, bro. It's not gonna be the easiest to do that right now, especially for swings. That works best for like 0 DTs or riskier stuff like weeklies. Like I said, if we get the breakdown right here and you don't lock in before the move happens, you missed it, bro. So you got a decision to make. If not, don't hit me later. Yo, should I still buy it? Like, nah, bro. You had this whole range to decide. New lows on LQD. About to give up at 107, which is great. Gold about to give us some lows. Hopefully, those are up over 340%. So I feel like it's been a pretty easy day. Sure, we had that small pop at open, but like I said, we called it. If you're patient and managed, you did okay. If you didn't, like some people, not to say no names, nah, just fine. It is what it is, bro. Shake it off. But it's been a relatively easy day, at least for the gold puts, if you took them. Yeah, gold bust in here. I'm gonna sell some more cons. Fuck it, I'm gonna sell one at 420. What's the high of the day? 2-1. I'm trying to get some more fills on the 0 DTs. I just placed some orders for Spy Zero. Not my bad, not Spy. From GLD 0DTE. So if they fill, they fill. If they don't, they don't. But I'm pretty sure they'll get filled right now in the next drop. But yeah, that trade's been pretty good. Yo, Joshua, I just saw your message. If you're gonna take it, be careful with the spreads on T-Mobile. They're a little wide, so mid or below. Don't do ask. If you do ask, you're already losing from the jump. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. Maybe like a minute or two. Watch gold here. Potential bounce on gold here versus new lows. I don't want to see a bounce on gold, and if you do see it here, be careful if you're short. And again, this is a potential problem here, Joshua, where we are very green and already risk-free and continuing to take some more risk off. You're barely putting on that short risk. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Risk being dynamic. The risk you were taking here is not the same risk we took, an hour or two ago. So just be mindful. And I'm not trying to tell y'all shit to scold y'all. If I tell you something, it's, trying to teach y'all something so you can learn and potentially either learn or earn from what I tell y'all. Rolex market down right now. It's this. Just had some orders on LQD. I had a bunch of swings, some for May, some for June. They're up over 100%. I'm gonna probably just take off the May ones and leave all the June just to get risk free. But LQD was a pretty clean, easy trade. I issued that on Friday, over 100% on a May swing. For May. And I paid 130 for that for the May swing, and for the June swing we paid 160. Both up around 100%. But I'm telling y'all, like, $100 for a swing with timeout to June was ridiculous. If you took advantage on Friday when I issued that, you doubled your money. My bad, I was muted, but yeah, if you took some more profits on gold here, like I mentioned, cool. So I'm glad I took some off there. Small bounce. Don't know how high will bounce, but at least I took some off. And we still haven't broken out of these ranges, so I'd say this hasn't finished developing yet. Let's see which way they break. T-Mobile ads are up 70% here when we added on the pop. And then the original sets I talked about, I'm honestly still down 10% on. I don't know what y'all got filled at when you got in, whatnot, but my original entry, I'm down 9% now. And the re-add 75%. So that's what I'm telling you guys, how you manage the trade. Did you add, did you not add, what price, when you get in, when you get out, is gonna make all the difference. But you know, I try to be as honest and transparent as I can. 6.5% down on the OG set and 80% up on the re-add. They're probably down, I don't know, 40-50% at some point. So that's why I tell you, if you can't stomach a 40-50% loss mentally or financially or whatever, don't take that much size. I was down half on T-Mobile. Instead of y'all will say, oh shit, I'm down half, let me say I was scared. I see down half, I say, oh shit, that same trade I was willing to pay 400 for is now 200. Say less, I'll buy 2 times as much. So not necessarily, you don't have to buy 2 times as much, but I'm just trying to tell you, like, if I was willing to buy the trade for 400 because I really liked it, why wouldn't you pay 200 for it? You guys will see the 200 price and say, oh fuck, I'm scared now. I see 200 and say, shit, let me get that. So, not always, but sometimes you buy shit that doesn't work out. But generally, yeah, if I see a discount on something I like and the trade's still valid, levels, whatever, run it. I don't know what fill you took, gang. I'm just seeing your message, Joshua. I'm personally holding, hold up. And this is for weeklies. The 252.5s, those are in the money now. I got those on this huge pop. Those are the ones that are pretty green. Currently worth over a rack per contract. The 242.5s are trading around 500. And the 240s are trading around 425. Those are the 3 that I have. I'm not a fan of any. And since you're already gonna overpay on the premium and get finessed, you're better off just getting as close to the money as possible. I'm not gonna tell you get them in the money and pay 1,000 per contract, but the 242.5s or 245s may be okay. Because just to give you guys perspective on why and how I do those calculations, let me show you. So they sell you the 240 for 450, let's say, right? And then they're selling you the, where is it? The 242.5. Full screen this. So what is being discussed right now? 242.5 puts versus 240 puts on, wait, what the fuck? I'm on EVGO. I thought I was on T-Mobile. For similar pattern, whatever. I'm gonna go back to EVGO just so I don't have to rewrite the numbers, but pretend we're looking at T-Mobile. Alright, so the 242.5 and then the 240, right? They're charging 450 for the 240. And then they're charging, let's say, 515 for the 242. What's the difference between 515 and 450? Do the quick math, 65, right? So the dollar cost difference between these two strikes is 65 bucks. The dollar cost difference between 242.5 and 240 is 250. So they're charging you 65 bucks more to make this 250. That's a pretty good deal. Not saying it has to happen, but just doing the math, doesn't that seem like a pretty good ticket? You pay 65 bucks more, but you can make 250 bucks more. And let me know if that makes sense. So 242.5 strike, 240 strike put. Let me know if y'all get the concept. But that's how I calculate what's worth it. How much is the cost difference? If it's a lot cheaper to get further out the money, then I'll do out the money or I'll buy more time or whatever. But in this specific scenario where they're charging you just 65 bucks to make 250, I'll pay that 65 to make 250. Net, you come out green 180. Assuming the trade hits. If you do the math and it doesn't make sense, where like you're doing the math and you're like, hey, I just crunched the numbers 3 times and each time I come out red, don't take the trade. It means you're overpaying for a contract. You want to get in for the low. So in this case, it makes a little sense to pay for the 242. This is getting pretty tight here. What if we do this? Fill these highs. Not saying it happens, just giving you guys a potential scenario. We're short, and like I said earlier, I feel overly confident. If we fade this area, great, but I feel like it's gonna be a walk in the park to take gold, T-Mobile, you know, everything down. But this is a very clear setup here. If we don't break down, we're getting this back into, and look, it's a perfect match into the 618, 786. So what happens if we get here, this here, which is really just a retest of where we fell from. Fell from here, retest before lower maybe. So everyone short with me. Let's hope we break down from here, but this is a possibility. So maybe we might have to take some swings off. Let's see. This still remains my target, but gotta be cautious. Gold is now, sorry, not gold, LQD below 107. I want to see 106.50, hopefully about 40 cents lower from here. What do I have? Let's check the megas. Where the did I close that shit? My bad, I'm trying to find the right. Guess I don't have it. This ain't it. See if gold gives us new low here. And then potentially T-Mobile trying to break out here, so let's see if we can stay below previous monthly low and break down, or if this is actually going to happen. And obviously if this is going to happen, you do not want to be short. So above previous month low if short, maybe consider taking them off. Alright, so let's take a look at the megas real quick. So Apple came up, a little update on the morning notes on the morning plan, trade plan, whatever we discussed this morning and at the open, was come into the zone, which we have marked out here, right? Perfect wick into that level and come, total 180 back at the lows. We left this wick here, which could be our target if we break down from here, and then obviously below there we can do the bigger path we have in this other color in gray. Let me zoom out, you can't even see it. So 172 maybe, and if we lose that, we could see as low as like 160, maybe a little lower. But again, we got rejected in the area we mentioned. Now what you want to see as a bear is us lose these levels at 176, maybe 177, 176. If you're a bull, you want to hold above like they're doing here. So this is great if you're trying to buy this dip, right? For something like this, you got wick fills into here, it's got a little higher, a little less, about there. This is a potential path on Apple, and then obviously maybe break out above here. Again, not saying this happens, just gotta call it out. So if it happens, you guys are fully aware. So if we do not roll over from here, that's going to be a potential scenario to the upside. So be careful here. Let's see what the rest of the market is doing. Super tight, similar to comments on Tesla, Nvidia, super tight. Everything is really tight right here. Has been coiling for some time, except for gold. Gold has been coming down a bit. So I want to see what develops here next few minutes. But again, the puts are super green across the board. Gold paid over 350%. So yeah, consider getting out if not out. Alright, I'm gonna call the stream here, y'all. I'm already over staring at the fucking screen. I got my orders placed. I'll be back in a bit. Well, I won't be back, but get me in the Discord if y'all need some. I'm gonna be chilling. I'm gonna probably not make any changes to my positioning. And then if anything develops, where I do have to close swings, I'll let you guys know. But for now, plan remains the same. What? What are you talking about? Should I wait to get risk free at 100? You're talking about reducing risk, like taking some of your contracts off? It's still early in the day and it's a swing. Your call, bro. I haven't really reduced risk on my swings. For the ones I added today, gold, the 417s, I haven't touched them. I just sold majority of the 0DTs. I have a couple left. So it makes it a little easier to hold. Because they paid like 300%. But yeah, I haven't touched swings, bro. Up to you. You don't have other trades, Daniel? Or do you have multiple contracts or something? What strike you got? And how much money do you have in your account? You have a lot of money other than that trade, or does that trade take up majority of your money? This man's a savage. He sniped last week with us with 425. Yeah, bro, if you sit on that, not gonna lie, assuming we're gonna slip here, that trade can, really hold you down. That might be a potential 10xer. Because you're saying 285, you're already $8 in the money. The targets I mentioned, which I'll cover again just to show you, I don't know if you were here, are 263. So that's about a $12 drop from where we're at. Let's say 10, just to do quick maths. So you're about $10 in the money. You can win another 10. So it's a coin flip here, not really, but just think about it that way. Do you want to secure what you have right now, the 300%? Or two scenarios from here. You don't secure, and in the next 2 days, you give back half of those profits. Or sooner, who knows? But yeah, you give up half of those profits, maybe more. Or it doubles. So you make another rack on top, or take the profit you have right now. Those are your two options. Because I can tell you, hey, hold, which I, like the levels and it'll probably pay. But I need to be, fully transparent with the two potential scenarios from here. If you do hold and we bounce, you're going to be down 50% of the premium, which, you'll still be at up to 100%, 150% or something. That's cool. But you're definitely giving back some profits. If we get the next leg lower here, you're going to go up another rack on that contract. So you could double what it's at. Maybe be like 600% or higher on that. Your call, gang. The benefit of selling, if you do, which I'm not telling you to, let's say you don't have a lot of money, right? And then you hit a trade like 300%, 500, 10x, something like that. If you sell it, you realize the profit, and now you have more cash to potentially make more trades. Versus just having one contract with all that money, maybe you could take 2 or 3 cheap trades. If it's less than 7%, you're okay to hold, not gonna lie. Like I said, if we go down to that 268 or 267, 269, whatever, you're gonna get paid another couple $100 at least. You say less. So everybody's straight, right? I'm gonna hop off. I think everybody made money except for one person. My bad. Alright, say less. Nobody's saying none. I'll catch y'all then. Type in the Discord if y'all need some. Hey, part of the game, bro. Gotta pay your tuition. Alright, say less. I'll catch y'all. Have a blessed day. Let me know if y'all need something.